G'day, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia, and this is Lawn Care Skull Sessions. Today's episode is brought to you by the community over at Lawn Mowing Contractors Australia, LMCA, and we've got our co-host here, the bearded lawnsman, BJ. How you going?
Buska, good bro, frozen. Absolutely frozen today.
A little bit nippy for us Brizzy boys.
Oh, what's going on? Apparently yesterday we were colder than Canberra. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, the world's fucked. Like, they talk about global warming and, you know, all sorts of stuff. Actually, before we do get going on today's episode, I do want to say, or just a mention to everyone down south that is flooding.
Yeah.
I know the guys down in Camden specifically, but I know that there's tons of areas.
Yeah.
But we're thinking of all you guys and girls over there, and, you know, we went through it.
Yep.
And we managed to skip it this time.
Yeah.
Looks like they got the, you know.
They did. It went around us and headed down south, and fuck, it's a shocker. I wish it could have just flowed evenly, but yeah, it seems like they're going to cop it for a little while to
So it's unfortunate. They're going to have some cleaning up to do, and it's going to affect business, and yeah, it's never good for us to see anyone in our community.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so also, BJ, now we got a big episode.
Huge episode.
Lots of meat on the bone, right? Before we get there, you got a little bit of news, or, you know, I mean, you know.
If it's what we were talking about in the car, wink, wink. So the news. I wish. Mate, there's some news coming out from our friends over at PLP, and it seems like as of July 1st next year, they've relinquished Hustler. No more. Yeah,
so everyone knows about. So we've been precluded a little bit from talking about it, just because.
Out of respect, really.
Look, for me, definitely out of respect, and but also not knowing.
Yeah, and because I respect you. Then that's why I haven't said anything about it.
And it's been tough for me too, because this is the type of show or podcast where it'd be great to be able to talk about some of these matters, just because it is interesting. You know, we're mowing contractors, so, you know, when you hear inside information, it helps you feel. It just makes you feel bigger. You know, a part of something bigger than what your everyday business is.
But if we were fucking out there just telling everybody's secrets, then we wouldn't get to know any of those secrets. People would say these guys can't.
Well, like I said, it was a tough one for me, because you've got. Let's start at the beginning. So essentially, what happened is MTD. Purchased Excel Industries, which is the Hustler brand.
Yeah, and if you don't know MTD, they do fucking, what are they? Cub Cadet, Rover?
Cub Cadet, Rover, DeWalt.
Yeah, there's Stanley Black & Decker, basically.
It's actually Stanley Black & Decker, not MTD. So Stanley Black & Decker they made the acquisition. Yeah. Really, Stanley Black & Decker bought MTD as well.
Yeah. Fucking umbrella is huge for that company. They got their fingers in everyone, in everything, I should say.
And, you know, no one really knew what this meant. You know, we know takeovers and, you know, certain things, they happen all the time. Like, for example, Toro has bought out Spartan. Now, we haven't talked about that much either, but apparently that is really a deal where, like, they bought it for some other technology, not for the mowers.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've seen, usually when you start seeing stuff in the American or European market, that's usually when you think, okay, it's only a matter of time before that trickle effect rolls on down here. Yeah. And we have seen some Cub Cadets turn into DeWalts. Mm-hmm. Not that I think that's a bad thing.
I mean, it's basically just rebranding, like how with Bush Ranger and Spartan.
It is rebranding. What they did, though, is they kind of stripped the machine down a little bit to put it in a box store.
Oh, okay.
Now, some people sort of say, like, oh, you know, they fucked that machine, but really they didn't. What they did was they've kept the premium, you know, Cub Cadet version of that, in the dealership, and they got a little bit of a strip down. Like, it's not that much strip down.
Yeah.
Strip it down a little bit, put it in the box stores as a default. So realistically, from a business standpoint, it's a great 1-2 punch into the market because all of a sudden you're saturating, the market.
Yeah. In saying that though, that would, I feel, put a little bit more pressure on dealers in regards to if someone is looking for a mower. Now they don't have to go to a dealer. We don't really have big box stores here that hold zero turns and shit like that.
I think Trade Tools, Melbourne Tools, or Total Tools, whatever. I think they dabble a little bit.
They do, and there's a Ryobi at Bunnings.
I think they had the Husky stand-ons at some point, like Total Tools.
Really? News to me, that one.
Do I want to see that? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I could understand maybe if they stripped some of the machines down and sold them as domestic machines.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I mean, surely the dealers would feel some effect.
Yeah. It just breaks that connection too between a dealer and the customer. If you buy from a big box store, you're never going to get the same service that you get from a dealer.
I'll tell you what, if they're anything like Bunnings, mate, just fucking flick them the receipt and say, mate, it's in the fucking box. Where's my newbie?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, true. Might be just a straight swap.
So, I don't know. So anyway, essentially...
These are actually good questions. We might have to... little sneak peek. We have William Hartford coming on next week, so maybe we can ask him what his opinion is.
So we do. We have William coming in from Rosebud Mowers and Chainsaws down at the Mornington Peninsula. Mm-hmm. He's flying up. He's going to hang with us on the weekend, so we're going to do a weekend shoot. These boys will probably be on the piss. I don't know.
Maybe. I'd say probably.
I'll be on the coffees.
Oh yeah.
That'll be a great episode, and it's good to. Have we had a dealer on yet?
We had. No, not really. No.
Okay, so it'd be great. We've had reps and CEOs, but I don't think we've ever had a dealer.
No, it'll be interesting.
Behind the scenes, but a little bit more one of us.
Yeah, and hopefully, because it's my daughter's birthday this weekend, and Will's only got a couple of days here. Hopefully we're going to shoot some film on a few different bits and pieces like hydro services, doing some maintenance videos. Hopefully we can get that done. I've got my fingers crossed because not only do I not have to do it myself, but he can show me how to do it and I can actually learn how to do it myself properly. There's only so much you can learn from YouTube.
Absolutely. So, anyway, back to the Power Up Lawn Care. So essentially, they've been the distributor for Hustler. They've built it up amazingly.
Yeah.
They have now given their notice that they will not be continuing with the brand. Now, they will be getting a new brand in.
Yeah.
And that is really exciting news because... we don't know what that is.
And who fucking knows?
And it could be an existing brand. It could be a new brand. It could be fucking something they're doing themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really exciting.
Well, do they have the facilities there to...
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. I thought
create?
I mean, I know that they could probably create something on paper, but physically build...
No. So if you take a look at, let's say what Cox and Greenfield had been through... Essentially, they were the only ones set up in Australia to build zero turns, and
6 months, mate.
They've moved there. They moved all operations to China, and so you would expect that that's just the world that we're living in, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
There's no workforce anyway. So, look, do I think that is inevitable? And I think that will happen down the line, especially if there's going to be these big buyouts all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so great about the American market, even though it's becoming a lot more like us. What's great about it is you've got your bad boys, you've got your Dixie choppers, you've got your, there's variations of, and they call it the American dream.
Yeah.
They build something in their fucking shed and then they build it into something and they sell it for quadruple fucking the amount. I'd love to see, that sort of stuff happening in Australia. But what the real issue is let's say, Cox or let's say PLP, they're like, fuck it, we're going to build our own zero turn.
Yeah.
Not only do they have an immediate investment of, I don't know how many millions.
Oh, crazy.
But when you're looking at market share, like...
They're starting from scratch.
Yeah, and then they still have to compete with everything that's still coming in.
Yeah.
All your Toros, all your Huskies, all your Deers, all your Spartans, all your Skags, all your... You know what I mean? So if, you think about international mowers, they can bring a 42-inch Liberty in for... And we don't know the price, but dealer margins are probably 30-40%.
Yeah.
So they might be paying a couple of $1,000.
I wonder if they'll just go straight for the EVs, pick something in the battery lineup to work on. Because realistically,
that's another whole.
It's a whole different dealing. And I mean, they don't really have anything like that except for maybe in the Swift, the Super Swift stuff, like the little rider and.
Oh, that fucking thing.
that's yeah. I mean,
that's for 1 acre man par.
Yeah, true, but still a ball in the bum. But no, it's very interesting. Look, I don't know what it'll mean for the future of Hustler in Australia. I don't know if it'll be a good thing or a bad thing, but it's an exciting thing. It's something different.
I mean, look, whether they bring in, I would assume that Stanley Black & Decker would run this through their own channel, which would be MTD.
Yep.
So, Cub Cadet and Rover dealers, might be like, fuck yeah, now we've got Hustler. Or they might bring in a third-party distributor.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why they would do that.
It'll be
that
interesting
doesn't make any sense.
Like I said on the last episode, when I went out to KC's, the fucking Cub Cadets were just fucking rolling off the truck. So... I mean, at one stage there, it was any brand's choice. Like if you had a machine, it was going to get sold in Australia. There was just nothing about. It's changing a little bit. I can see some improvements in stock levels. In the brands that I look into anyway.
I sort of feel like the demand. I only know this from Catch Pro.
Yeah.
The demand has probably lessened now.
Hopefully that means they can catch back up.
The government has been throwing so much money at everyone. And this is not just in Australia, this is all over the world.
Yeah.
That now someone has to fucking pay for it.
Yep.
So there's inflation everywhere to make up those funds. And, the civilians, you, me, the working, society pays for those inflation. So I don't think there's as much spending going on.
Yeah.
But what I do believe is that, mate, the industry goes on.
Yeah,
people,
of course.
There was a thread a while ago about, everyone better, change their business models. And yes, you should be upping your prices to account for fuel. But so much of this interest rise talk is not going to affect, it's only going to affect a small amount of the population.
Yeah.
You're talking about homeowners that bought in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
There's like...
That's us.
Oh, of course, it affects people like us.
Yeah.
But you got people who have owned homes for 20 years.
Yeah, or they remortgage.
Well, that's where it will fuck them up. But you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I know.
The industry goes on, man.
That's it.
Look, put it this way. It couldn't be worse than a drought. Droughts have been the toughest thing.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Fucking they go on.
Because you cannot justify mowing a lawn when it is fucked.
No, wet, there's the other side to that. Of course, fucking not talking about the guys down south at the moment. But, there's normally like a dry period after the wet.
Like Brizzy, mate. It's fucking green. It's as green as anything.
And, well, look at 2 weeks ago, it was fucking dry as a dog's ball bag.
Not at Ben's house.
Well, yeah. But out in, at the villages and stuff, it was starting to get dry.
It's one extreme to another. We just needed to fucking storm once a week at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then...
we had today off, which has fucked me, but, it is what it is. But back to the PLP thing. So we know that Power Up Lawn Care did a great job at beefing up the hustlers for the Australian market. Now, I have a feeling that MTD, they're not going to follow suit. I think they're just going to have whatever is in America is going to get pushed across here to Australia. They're not going to make exceptions.
Well, I mean,
they could.
We've talked about the little distributors before, and Power Up Lawn Care are not little, but you know what I mean? Like, you've got International Mowers. So you've got Rob Shearer, who is the head of that ship, and he can go directly to Skag and say, we need these changes, and these changes. And then they can be put on a table and potentially be actioned.
Yeah.
I think when you've got huge corporations like a Stanley Black & Decker, whoever the hell is going to run that ship here in Australia, they're going to be fighting through. I mean, imagine what a corporate flow chart of MTD looks like. You know what I mean? You got the fucking head honcho, you got the vice president, you got the vice president of fuckwits over here, then you got this and that. You know what I mean? It would be an endless battle.
It would be.
And there's good things about it and bad things. I think the good thing about it is usually stock levels are good.
Yep.
And usually I think the service is reasonable because they expect something. But I think when you're talking about something that is really just built for everyone else, unfortunately, I think that comes along with it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but that's why we have different brands.
Yeah.
That's why you still have your Skags and your Bobcats and your Graveleys and your Toros and we're lucky that those other brands still exist so that we all have a choice.
Yep.
So, was there any other little bits of housekeeping?
No reviews this week.
That was a big one. Pretty big sidebar that we didn't really talk about. But we're going to keep you updated on that, and we're really looking forward to seeing if I'm assuming that they will, because how can you lose? Like, they've got Spartan, but I mean, how can you lose a brand like Hustler? That it's a household name in the industry. So it'll be, we'll, as soon as we find something out, hopefully we can break it.
That's it. Yeah, that'll be good.
I have lost my thread. Shall we get straight into today's topic?
Sure.
All right. So did you want to just give everyone a little bit of backstory while I'm trying to sift through back to the start of the comments?
So Ben and I, we discussed doing this topic a while back. We were talking about doing pushies. So push lawnmowers, and both of us don't have a huge amount of experience with,
up-to-date machines.
Yeah, right? Up-to-date machines. I mean, I've got the Skag SFC30, but
which is the most up-to-date machine.
Yeah, which is pretty much the most up-to-date. But we're talking about like all your 21 inches. There's so many different variables out there. Like Massport's got 15,000 different styles. I've never even run a 217. It's always, I had like an old school 216, and I've used the Honda Bushy and the Lonsin Bushy, self-propelled, and that's about it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running a 20-year-old 195, and I just didn't feel qualified to talk about this topic. Now, it's different with zero turns, because even though you and I haven't run all of those, you look at the specs, you can look at other info.
Yeah, and we've been on a few, we've had a few machines under our bum, so it's a much easier topic to talk about. Yeah. And, we don't want to look like kooks. No, and that's it. And it's a good opportunity to get all the crew at LMCA involved in one of our episodes, because they're probably our biggest supporter.
I would absolutely say so. And, I mean, even though we have listeners outside the LMCA public, and, this is Aussie lawn contractors as well, but the main the content that we're shooting, it really is for LMCA. A lot of our core listeners are members of that community. They love the interaction, and we usually get some pretty good content from them.
Actually, a controversial subject I saw this morning on LMCA was little Jesse Winter. He's fucking throwing some fucking gloves in the ring with why is no one using Makita? Milwaukee. Fuck me, I don't even know what's going on.
I mean, look, I breezed past the thread. I did put my own comment forward.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
I didn't really get the gist of...
Did you say jizz?
I didn't really... Like, I didn't look at the actual question or post as much as I looked in the comments.
Yeah.
I think one of the comments had just come up. You know how sometimes the comments are just there, and then, you know, whatever.
If it's a juicy one, you get involved in the comments, not in the actual thread.
And from what I understand, Jesse has, you know, started to run some Milwaukee gear.
Yeah.
Monster Mowing.
Yeah, he loves it.
He was involved. He runs some Milwaukee gear, and there was something brought out about people selling out.
Yeah.
You know, using certain brands maybe for free and selling out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's really fair.
No.
In the sense that, like, I am one of these people who, you know, I get to use free gear.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, a lot of the times, now whether people want to call me a sellout, I don't give a fuck. But, I mean, I've been given shit for free before that I will never talk about.
Yeah.
And that's usually the agreements that someone like me would have with a company is, hey, Ben, we'd like to get your thoughts on this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
If you like it, feel free to market it and advertise it. If you don't like it, come back to us, tell us what you do and don't like, and then we will go from there.
Yeah, it's market research. Basically, you're basically researching a product for someone. You're a test dummy.
Yeah. Well,
I've been lucky enough to be able to do it as well. Every business does it. You fucking every Instagram fucking product you see out there, even to step ones now, like they're marketing them to fucking couples and they're wearing the same undies. I don't think I'd be a good candidate for that because my shit looks whack as, but you know. Could you imagine me being an underwear model?
Well, I mean,
I'd pack it for sure.
That
or at least fucking grab a bit of blood.
Man, I tell you what, that image these days is getting over hard because it's
what's that packing the?
No, I'm talking about everyday body types.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean, like. Do we all want to see, this is fucking way off topic, but, you know, underwear models, do we all want to see a guy with a six-pack?
And that Dick V? What's that Dick V? What is that called?
Well, I think they just make it subtle to... Are you talking about the actual bulge or the
abs? No, you know, like they got abs and then there's like a...
Oh, yeah, I used to have one of them.
Did ya?
Yeah, man.
Did ya?
That's my fucking V.
Your fucking V?
Nah,
mine's like a fucking oval.
I used to, I don't have one that Mel.
Fucking buried penis.
Actually, you know what's funny? We will get into this episode soon. But
maybe.
Talking about push mowers, I used to actually have like push mowing muscles.
Oh.
So above my butt, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but like where my butt cheeks were, I had like two other muscles above that on my back.
Yeah.
And it was just from fucking walking.
Because you didn't use a self-propelled. You had legit push mowers, like the 195.
For years and years and years.
They were a
That's
good
what we
unit.
did.
They were fucking excellent unit.
Mate, this is back in 02.
Yeah.
That's all we did until, I don't know, 20 fucking, I don't know, it was really like...
About 6 days ago.
So anyway, let's... get into today's topic. So it is about pushy and self-propelled mowers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we asked what are people's experiences, what are the best mowers out there, past or present, the best features, best catching, best mulching, even though we're only going to gloss a little bit over that. What would people like to see in a perfect pushy? Now, when I say pushy, I do mean self-propelled as well, all right? But it's just like, you know,
it's pushy.
It's too hard. So
can I ask first, what is your perfect machine?
Oh, wish you didn't ask me that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my perfect machine these days would be a battery unit.
Okay.
I would like to see the same brand doing a variation of a 21 and a 30 with a self-propelled option. So I'm just talking about, I'm clearly not talking about the perfect model right now. My perfect model would not be self-propelled.
Okay.
even though I'm not in the industry now, it was never, push mowing was, in the last 7 years, was so far from the core of our business that I did not need a self-propelled mower.
Yeah, okay, fair.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, I have a Bush Ranger, a battery toy mower.
The little tacker.
That I would keep to do a couple little nature strips, a few little courtyards here and there.
Yeah.
That was my extent.
That came a lot from your back though as well. That, that contributed.
It did. Absolutely. And that's when I think as well that, certain people... I know this Milwaukee thread that was going on a little bit. Someone had kind of said... I really like the Ego for accessibility or something, and someone was like, it's 21 inch. I don't know, maybe it was in this thread.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, maybe I'm getting too far ahead. But what they had ended up saying was, no, we mean accessibility as in you can lift it down 4 or 5 stairs.
Yeah.
So like I said, lots to unpack, lots of...
meat on the bone.
Lots of meat on the bone. Maybe we'll hear a sidebar here or there.
Maybe the more.
I don't know how much banter. So what BJ and I have tried to do is we've tried to not look at this thread.
Yeah.
So we're going to be reading it organically.
Yeah, you've obviously been flat out. I got home just after you got back from deliveries or pickups and all that sort of shit. And
trying to fucking amuse the kids in school holidays. Fuck me dead. Yeah. It'd be all right if it wasn't raining.
Yeah, it's a fucking crappy day.
Actually, just quick. We are going to get going. But did you want to tell everyone what happened when we finished?
Holy fuck! I can't believe that we fucking glossed. That we just didn't even talk about it.
I haven't watched the episode, so I don't know if the noises came up in the background.
Okay, so our audio got fucked up. Like I was honest in our last podcast, our audio got cooked, and we came back on Sunday to shoot here at Ben's place. Sitting here, heard the dogs barking, heard a little bit of commotion outside.
And it's normal, right? This is a raw show.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of commotion out the back. We didn't think anything of it. It stopped. Everything went quiet. And we finished the podcast. It was cold again, so Benny's like, there's some good sun out the back. Let's go and chill. So we went out the back, watching the horses fucking dance around, and Ben couldn't find the dogs. He's like, "Me fucking dogs." I don't know. So we just were standing there, and Ben tried to call them, couldn't find them. Fucking thought, okay, maybe Vicky took them out.
So I was like, oh, well, fuck it, and I just turned me back.
So Benny's turned his back, sat down, started rolling a ciggy. I sat down, and all of a sudden, fucking Humphrey, the chocolate lab, fucking... He's 7 months old?
Yeah, 7 months.
He comes walking out from beside the house, proud as shit, with a fucking gigantic Ranger chicken in his gob, and he just spits it out, and he's like, "Oi, look, this fucking thing ate."
And he was like all proud as shit, eh? Like,
he's so happy.
He's like, "Hey, Dad, look at my fucking chicken."
Yeah, he's full fucking minced a chicken in the fucking backyard. And actually, before that, remember, I was like, "Oh, you had a bird die in your yard." There was a few feathers floating around.
And I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think so, hey." And then fucking sure enough.
Fucking hell.
And poor Mocker's sitting there like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Oh, man. Fuck, I'll put some photos up. I've got some photos. It's fucking crazy.
Poor chook. Lucky it was bin day. All right, let's get straight into this thread. So, very first comment was from Jared Summer. He says he's run a few. Now, he is going to come back into this thread later on. So
Thank God.
So we'll get to that. Now, Joe Zuzu says Honda HRU 216 all the way, best quality and best price point. Negative feedbacks come from blokes that operate them like they're a Harley Davidson, night rods, and whinge when they blow the gearbox. Now,
I'm kind of on the fence there. I think he's right on the first half. I think there was a legitimate gearbox issue. Every dealer I've spoken to has said there is a fucking gearbox issue. There was 6 to 9 months or some shit of shit gearboxes that were weak as fuck.
And I know, like my cousin, who is a member here at LMCA, he hasn't had any input, but
he's a backgrounder.
Yeah, he just takes time on and off. But look, I know he's a huge HRU
loves it
user, and when we started getting behind the bush rangers, he's like, fucking, why are you doing it? And we talked about the gearbox problems because it's about maybe 12 months ago that it was a big thing.
Something like that. Yeah,
maybe a little bit longer.
And I'd still say like there'd be some out there that are lasting a little bit longer. Hopefully they're blowing before they get out of warranties, but yeah, I'd say that it was a
known industry issue, right?
No, yeah.
So look, I think parts of that have some credibility. Now, obviously, Joe here is having good experiences.
Yeah.
So that's something to note.
Yep. That's a tick for the HRU. I've also got one. I've got an old school one, and it's a fucking monster. Yeah.
Yep. So Jake Long has made a comment here saying blade brakes are a must. You can leave the machine propelling over difficult side footpaths. Grass doesn't blow in your face when emptying the catcher. I'm just going to leave it there. Now, do any of your current machines have blade brakes?
No.
Okay, so I had never had machines. Like, I was using push mowers before blade brakes were fucking even invented, right?
Yeah.
And I remember not upgrading because I didn't want a blade brake.
Yeah.
But since I have been involved a little bit more in the background of some of this equipment, mate, I can't agree any harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you've got, if you're doing a front footpath and then you need to go to the backyard and you've got to go over like say 3 meters of gravel.
Yeah.
You can leave your machine on and not have your blades running.
Yeah. And you don't have to push it through the gravel. You can still use the self-propelled function.
Yeah. So, very credible comment and one that probably most people agree with.
I'd say so. There's some people out there that hate the blade brake. I personally, I've got a 196 Heritage and it's just got the engine cut off and it's fucking annoying. Like you have to, especially using it at the village, if you're going up and down gutters, it's safer to turn the machine off. You don't want to clip a gutter with the blades going. So it's like, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And it wears out pull cords real quick.
And so he goes on to say it'd be nice for a self-propelled to have a bigger chute, but you can't have it all. I don't do a lot of push mowing anymore, though I wouldn't go past the Honda. Never had issues with them. They mulch and catch well. For dedicated mulch mowers, I've heard those Huskies are quite good. For small wet lawns, you can't go past push mower with a wide open chute and lightweight. I've tried a few different ones, but keep going back to the 216 Honda. Looking at an ego mower for sections of retirement village that need push mowing. So, really great content and response here from Jake Long. Now, I got to bring up the full chute. Like those little chutes, like I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like I know that it, like engineering wise, it has to be done like that.
Yeah.
Is that
but
true?
It doesn't. So there's one model that was out there and is no longer out there, and I cannot for the life of me fucking figure out why. The Rover Pro Cart was a self-propelled with a full chute. So they had a hydrostatic gearbox and it was sat on top of the deck. It did, so I saw one just the other day and it did sort of, it looks like it elongates the whole kit a little bit, which I don't know why that would be a bad thing. I understand that, you want a compact machine as a push mower, but 21 inch or a 22 inch or something like that, that fucking chute it's huge. It's a massive chute and it's a massive advantage, especially in the conditions we've had for like the last 5 or 6 months. You can still get out there and catch grass efficiently. It's beyond me, and I definitely have taken it to a few people and said, whoever fucking does this is going to be a winner chicken dinner in our industry.
Now the full chute thing, to me, I mean, that's all we ever used. That's all we ever had.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just seems like issue after issue with these little chutes.
Yeah. So my 216 used to get blocked up all the time. So I just pulled the 196 out and it just didn't have an issue. And another thing with is the catches. So I don't know how much people went into depth because we haven't read it. It catches and it's like the mesh versus the plastic. Yeah,
look, there could be some stuff.
Well,
if we can't see it, we might get to a little bit of that later. So Tim Robinson says, Bush Ranger self-propelled and normal push mower, Australian made, tough, haven't had any dramas. Also use a big bob utility mower, great for tall grass, no catcher, just a side shoot. Now, it's good that, and I expected Bush Ranger to get an early mention. Just to clear it up, the Bush Ranger is not actually Australian made.
Yeah.
So it's I believe a China model.
One, yeah.
The Bush Ranger business is Australian. And yes, they do assemble some products in Australia. However, it's not Australian made. It wouldn't actually have the tick of approval to be Australian made. So nonetheless, I mean, we love Bush Ranger.
Yeah.
But we have to clear it up.
Well,
they're not actually Australian made, right?
They're not Australian made. I've got two of them. I've got one. Could be running the same gear. I've got the Lonsin self-propelled. That's on my street rig. And at the village, we also have just a push mower, and that's also got a Lonsin. Now, excellent machine.
Now they're very heavy, right? They fucking are. Look, I'm calling it heavy.
Yeah, okay.
There's no way I'd be lifting one out of a ute.
Yeah. I'd say they're on par with any other self-propelled or push mower out there.
Okay, fair enough. So, straight off the bat, Alistair slapped Dick Duncan. Now, I do want to say, this fucking flog, he had put a comment in there. Now, look, the comment's been deleted, right?
Yeah.
Now, I fucking love LMCA.
Yeah.
I almost love everyone in there.
Yeah.
But Alistair is a fucking flog.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about saying it on this podcast.
So many times I've said, why the fuck is he in this group? He just brings so much negativity to it.
This cunt is just shit comment after shit comment. So his comment, now he's got a reply here, and it's a typical fucking Alistair comment. Isn't Bush Ranger SP Mowers just a rebrand of a Weebang? Now, yes it is, we just talked about that. But he just has to fucking bring light to everything. Yeah. Now, let me just say that this is not a Kiwi thing either. No. We love Kiwis, right? Yeah. I'm married to a Kiwi.
Sorry.
You know how Vicky asked me for a root?
How?
Like, hey Ben, you want to have a root, bro?
Oh, that's hot. No. I'm going to ask my wife to approach me the same way.
Hey Ben, get over here, lick my mutt.
Oh shit.
Not like that, cuz.
Oh shit.
No, my wife doesn't actually talk to me like that.
No.
She is a Kiwi though.
Yeah. Fucking gangster.
So anyway, Alistair's, this was his contribution. So we've got all these fucking great comments, right? Like 100 comments, and his comment was
basically,
whoever uses a push mower is a fucking backwards cowboy who's stuck in the fucking rah-rah.
Yeah, it was just the worst fucking comment. Now
this is coming from two dudes, right, who don't do a lot of push mowing.
No. And it was
95 fucking percent of our industry is push mowing.
Yeah. It's fucking, it blew my mind. Like, I read it and straight away I just thought,
and we've both got 32s as well.
Yeah.
And he's like,
what the fuck would you? Yeah, he
said you're fucking useless unless you get a 32.
Yeah, you're wasting your time unless you. No, it doesn't work like that. The comment just blew my mind. I posted it to,
such a fucking
like I said it to Benny.
Such a fucking backwards comment.
Yeah.
We will move on. So yeah, he goes on to say that all of their tools are just imported and rebranded, which is true. He's not lying.
No.
It's just that he just wants to bring negativity and light to every single fucking thing that. And
it's not like it's the only thread. You've had dealings with him plenty of times.
My biggest issue, right? Because I'm interested in the New Zealand market. He does have, like he sets his rigs up pretty cool with all of the racks and, not even the ones that we sell, but you know what I mean? Like he's organized in that way. It's just that every time I put a thread up, let's say I put a thread up about the Catch Pro grass catcher, and he'll immediately comment and be like, or you could buy an accelerator, or you could buy a fucking rah. And it's like, I don't have an issue with competition.
Yeah.
A lot of these products already existed, but you don't need to comment on my marketing thread.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if he had put a comment, you know, about his business or a service that he provides, and he just had some fucking jack off every time saying, well, why don't you use this guy instead? Yeah. And it's like...
Well, it's just the same. He does the same to other mower brands. If someone was like, hey, I'm looking at this Gravely 32, he's like, why don't you go get it right? I'd never fucking... If someone asks for a 32... and they don't specify a brand, I'll jump on. I'll be like, why don't you take a look at the Skag?
Absolutely, and as a brand ambassador, that is your role.
Yeah, but if, like, you can tell that he's reaching. he definitely would be reaching.
I don't know who the fuck.
And look, he is a good ambassador for fucking Right. Like, don't get me wrong, he runs all their gear, he loves their gear, but just the way he fucking goes about his comments is so ridiculous. Like, he can fucking...
Anyway, this isn't a slap dick episode, but I don't know. We'll get past it. Okay, so Hayden Baker, he says Honda HRU 216 can't beat it. Tell me I'm wrong. First
comment, can't get any.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to trip on that. The 216. It's been a very popular mower.
Yeah.
Look, realistically, for decades, I didn't even know that there was any other mower. Like, I thought there was just Honda for contractors and Victor if you were a homeowner. That's what I actually thought for so long. Sean Andrews does reply, says can't get any. Depends on the location. My dealer currently has them and a 36 V-Ride sitting around waiting to be purchased. So I'm not sure. We could be getting off track with some of this conversation.
Yeah, really in Adelaide. So fucking some dealers get them. It depends on who gets their orders in. I'm guessing, like, who's in line next. There'll be some that get sent to New South Wales, and maybe Adelaide and fucking surrounds will get theirs, and Western Australia might finally get some, and then Brisbane might get their turn. But who knows? Like, it just depends on which dealer gets their fucking orders in.
And it's like that with every brand. Like, if you want a Walker mower at the moment, you have to put money down.
100%.
And the dealer has to then, I don't know if he forwards that money on, but he has to actually say to the rep, yes. I was in a shop. I was in a local shop the other day, and an SME rep came in and said, you know, hey, what do you got? And he's like, all right, I got this guy. He's put a payment down. He needs an MT fucking rah.
Yeah.
And so on.
And from what I've heard is that person will literally get a stock number, and that number will go to that machine, and it'll just flow through the system and then eventually make its way here.
Yeah. Now, hopefully that does change, eventually.
'Tis the world we live in.
At the moment, yes. Paul Luck. Hayden Baker, you're wrong. The HRX 217 beats it in almost every way. Toro Time Master beats both of them. So we have a new entry, the Toro Time Master.
Two new entries, the 217 as well.
Oh, the HRX 217. So I'm actually completely unfamiliar with this machine. I'm assuming it's like the latest model self-propelled Honda.
I think
Could that be correct?
I think it's been around for a while. It could be the latest, but it's
obviously superseding the 216 because it's got a fucking high number.
Well, I think it is actually just a different machine altogether. I know that a lot of people actually say that they're quite good for the mulching side of business. They have a bar blade.
Whack. I don't like bar blades.
Dude, I don't mind a bar blade.
Nah.
You know what? I'm so dumb. When I bought I inherited a 216. For some stupid reason, I thought it had a bar blade.
Was that because it was so heavy you couldn't lift it up to check?
It could be.
So anyway, this little conversation continues. So Paul Luck had said his first comment about the HRX 217, and Hayden Baker replies with, for a residential user, the HRX is good. Now, let me just say that is an immediate diss. I'm going to read the rest of the comment. I don't know where it's going just yet, but like, that's one of those things. You know, there's that meme.
Yeah.
You cut grass like a homeowner.
Yeah.
That is a diss. Okay, so, but I wouldn't enjoy filling the bag after every pass. Also, unless you like waiting for a belt from the Time Master, no worries. Had my HR 216 for 5 seasons with a issue, but I'm assuming he means without an issue. I service it myself, love it. So,
this is a controversial topic, Ben.
Yeah, but
people get a bit.
Creates cash. You don't get fucking paid, so. So, all right, we'll go on. Paul Luck responds and says, Hayden Baker, bag. I mulched 100% with it, lol. Something you can't do with a 216. As for belts, I never wait for one. Anyone with half a brain always keeps consumables on hand.
Now, I agree with Paul on that one.
Absolutely agree with Paul. I'm a little bit, I got to be honest, like, and Paul Luck's a regular contributor, but I got to be honest, I don't like when people say, like, difference of opinion is cool.
Yeah.
And for a consumer like this contractor market, dissing brands is okay.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be cool if like you or me were dissing a brand.
No way.
Only because we're affiliated with other brands.
Yeah.
Now we do diss brands.
Yardsman. Sorry, MTV.
No, but you know, like the brands that don't want to work with us, we diss them.
Yeah.
Only because we've reached out in one way or another, and they're like, well, we don't fucking get it. We don't get how.
We don't like you.
Yeah. So
you can't sit with us.
this is the jock table.
Yeah. You're over there with the nerds.
Where I was going was the half a brain comment.
Yeah.
I love shit talking and I love banter, but it'd be cool if we didn't necessarily attack.
Yeah.
Even though I know we attacked Alistair, but like he's been messing with me for a long time.
He has been on your radar.
So and I just get to a point where I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if I got catch pro. I don't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
Hayden Baker responds, I mulch all the time with mine. I must just have clients who appreciate a good lawn as well. So
he kind of shoots back.
Oh, no, we got another response.
Oh, shit.
From Paul Luck. Okay, I guess you like having clumps.
Fucking hell. It gets back to that fucking mulch versus catch shit. That's gone way out of control.
So can we just clarify, and I guess people, will make their own assumption, but I've never mulched with any push mower before.
Yeah.
So I can't really say whether, I can say what I believe. I do believe that nothing is sexier than a caught push mode lawn over a ride-on mode or anything. I do wish, because I've worked in seasons and in markets where we've gone through really bad droughts, seasons have not been as wet necessarily as what we've experienced the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I could have really done with the mulch push mower in my life. And I can, especially, people are probably going to take offense to this. Well,
fucking shoot it. Who cares? It's your opinion.
Well,
it's our show, your opinion.
When I was younger, I was nowhere near as particular as what I am now.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anywhere near as much pride as what I would now, and my expectations of a finished mowed lawn were just not the same.
Okay.
And I do feel like a mulch mower kind of fits in with that.
Yeah.
Whether it's doing a good job or a not as good job or whatever the case is, but I can really see how not taking green waste away would have fucking suited me really well when I was 18.
Yeah.
So, like I said, horses for courses.
You know what? Maybe that's part of the reason why I love villages so much, because of all the on-site dumping.
Yeah, I mean, it just hadn't been an issue for me for so long. And like I said,
there's only 1 out of 4 where I take the clippings and there's no fucking grass on the inside. It's just a footpath.
I mean, I don't do the job anymore, but the specific job, which was a huge part of my business, the mansion.
Yeah.
Like, I challenge anyone to put any fucking mower on there that you want that doesn't cut. Put whatever mower you want, mow it as many times as you can think, but go and do it and see if the client is satisfied.
Yeah, they'll fucking
and then do it 12 months a year round.
And tell me it's not worth it. That was a fucking excellent job, like an excellent paying job.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how many thousands of a year we racked up.
Well, I mean, they weren't even in the country most of the time. You just sent an invoice and fucking...
Well, for the most of the time they were, but...
Oh, okay.
But, you know, tail end they weren't.
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't need to get into that because we end up causing...
making people sad,
like I said, I don't want to offend anyone. Like, it's what I think and it's what I believe.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, it doesn't bother me if you don't think the same way.
No.
Like, I'm cool with it.
Fine. It's perfectly fine.
You know, and that's why we sell chute blockers as well.
Yeah.
Now, they're not mulch kits, but we sell chute blockers as a way of sort of offering someone something that it's never going to be as effective, but you're on your way there.
Yeah.
So, all right, Maddie Barnes. Haven't heard of Maddie Barnes for a little while.
He's back on the scene.
He says he has a Bushy self-propelled with the Lonson. He's pretty happy with it, but in saying that, if Honda 216 had the Lonson 196cc or equivalent engine size, it would be a ripper of a machine. So
that's fair enough.
I know the Lonson's getting over pretty good at the moment.
Yep.
We've got one, like you got one,
yep.
I got one. We've been happy with it.
Yeah.
But I thought the real difference between the Honda and the Bushy was like the build and some of the other components. I didn't know it was just about the Lonson, but you know, Maddie Barnes is kind of saying like, well, if the Honda had the Lonson, it would be a better machine. Yeah. So it's a little bit conflicting.
Yeah, I don't know. The build quality, I'd say like the Hondas are pretty good built machines as well. I never had a problem with the old ones. No, I don't have a problem with the new one I have. Like the Heritage isn't that old.
I think what fucked everyone up was like the TPE and the DMC.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what kind of tarnished, because people just are like, no, these are Hondas. You know, just because they had the fucking red Honda.
Well, I mean, fucking Bushy, the Bushies have got Honda. You can get a self-propelled with a Honda on it as well.
Absolutely.
But they're the black Hondas, they're the Chinese Hondas, not the OG ones. So
now Hayden Baker is going to stab you in your heart.
Why?
And say, I'm sure BJ Wallace will say the Skag is better.
Oh look, it's a completely different machine.
Hey man, the floor is yours.
It's a completely different machine. So you got a 30-inch fucking tank compared to a 21-inch fucking, self-propelled Bushy. I love the fucking Skag. It suits our business perfectly. It might not suit other people's businesses. Like if you got your tight access, you ain't getting that fucking thing through. You're probably not going to want to do stairs with it. It's a big machine. It's a big, heavy machine. It's built for these big, beautiful lawns. It's a finishing machine. I sharpen the blades and I fucking love the car.
And it can run as a mulcher, right?
Yeah, you can mulch, side, discharge, and I don't think you'd ever have an issue with that deck. It is built. So
it's overbuilt.
It's overbuilt. So what I've heard from people is it is like, so people who run a V-Ride, same as me, like a 32, it is very similar to having a 32-inch V-Ride. And those people...
Well, you're only giving up an inch on each side.
That's it.
Which,
although
I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. If I give up an inch on each side, I'll have a fucking toothpick.
I'll have a clitoris.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a clitoris, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'd be fucking...
Right on the side of my neck.
I'd be high-fiving that.
I'd constantly look like a crackhead. Or behind my ear. Yeah, just thinking.
Well, you're just thinking and gasming at the same time.
Yeah, fucking... I'm in a meeting right now.
Okay, humongous.
Oh, the man himself.
He enters the conversation. He says, ran the Honda TPE self-propelled, same as the DMC branded ones. Was a weapon of a mower, runs the old Honda Buffalo deck. That lasted me 6+ years before the Gearbox decided I had enough. Now, I'm just going to stop it there. I think 6 years out of a push mower is reasonable.
Fuck yeah.
Now, obviously, depends, he's a WA dude, he's probably hitting a lot of sand. I don't think that's going to affect the gearbox that much, but...
Might cook the deck real quick, though.
Yeah, probably thrash out the deck a bit. He'll go on to say, I would definitely buy one again. Currently running the Bush Ranger SP with the 1966 Lonson, and it's great so far. Heaps of power over the Honda for sure, but only time will tell for longevity.
That's 100% true.
I think that's a really good point.
Yep.
Some of these mowers we just don't know yet.
No.
And, we face the same thing in Catch Pro. Sometimes we create something and we market something and we sell something, and 3 years later you might see a small change made somewhere, and it's like you don't always know. Like you can't have a product out for 3 years and wait for it to fuck up.
No, and there's only so much. Yeah, there's only so much market testing you can do. I mean, you'll get someone who's on one machine that might come back to you and say, you need to change this a little bit, and of course, you're going to listen to the feedback. That's where your perfect product would come from.
Yep. So he goes on to say, never used a blade brake, and it's not integral to my checklist when looking for a self-propelled, as another thing that could fuck up in my opinion, but the peeps running them seem to swear by them. So good, neutral comments there. Scott Osborne replies, I still get access to the TPE stuff because I know a bloke who knows a bloke, different gearbox than Dave's. I'm not sure what that necessarily means. Maybe
the
had
DMC are different to the TPE.
I'm thinking that maybe there was two different suppliers of TPEs, and one had shit gearboxes, and Dave's got the fucking good ones.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
That's from Scotty Osborne.
Scotty, who's Dave?
So maybe if anyone's looking for that, get in touch with Scotty Osborne down at Ulladulla.
Mm-hmm.
I just like saying his name.
Yeah, Ulladulla.
Ulladulla.
Apparently he knows a bloke who knows a bloke.
Come and fuck me in my Ulladulla.
Oh, it does sound like a big vagina. A vast one.
Okay, so Humongous goes to reply, says, sweet as, my gear to see how much Gearbox is for one. Apart from that, I'll throw a new set of treads on the back. The mower is still in great condition. Now, Humongous, I know, he's a Catch Pro guy. He's very anal.
Have you seen his trailer?
I've seen his trailer. I've seen all of his gear, and he's very precise. When he mounted his Pro Shield, he's the only person I've ever, I'm sure other people have done it, but he drilled his holes for the Pro Shield and then rust proofed it, painted over them.
Yeah.
He Mickey Mouse that thing right up.
Very particular.
Good on you for keeping your...
Read it.
Read what?
Read that.
Okay. Humongous also goes on to say in a separate comment, also 10 out of 10 will open mouth kiss the fuck out of you and BJ. Ooh. And like I said, I've never met Humongous, but I am so scared of the day that you, the bearded lawnsman, and Humongous are drinking alcohol around me.
I'll bring 2 chaps.
Because I feel like you're going to overpower me and rape me.
It's not out of the cards.
Greg Brown, still running a few Rover Pro Cart 50 SP, hard to beat or kill. Now, I'm assuming this is the model that you were referring to a little earlier.
Yeah, yep. Lee Bridges, my Pro Cart comrade down at Victoria Point, he is 100% across the Pro Carts. He loves them. He's built his business around them. He literally he said he's got a fucking 40-foot container that's just full of bits. I think he said it was 9 or 10, but they've all been Frankensteined up out of each other.
Yeah.
But he loves them. He swears by them, and that's what made me so interested in them. And last time I was there, had a quick squiz and showed me the do's and the don'ts. There was a little bit of an issue with the hydrostatic gearbox. He said there was something to do with it, some technical fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that it's a discontinued mower, it doesn't make it irrelevant, but it's just harder to really go on too much about it. Just the fact that you can't get it anymore.
I know, but maybe someone's listening.
Such a shame, because I've heard, in fact, even DJ.
Didn't he have a Pro Cart?
My worker, that is now your worker.
Yeah.
He ran a Rover. For years and years. So,
I wonder.
And he loved it.
I'll have to ask him.
So Scott Jones replies to Greg Brown and says, they are all I use too, been using them for the last 6 years, absolute weapons. I try and pick up any cheap ones I see locally as I still have a stack of spares. So goes to show, like that adds a bit of credibility.
That's 100%.
Greg Brown does reply and say exactly what I do. Homeowner just used on their own lawns is like gold. So I think ex-homeowner.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, it's the same with zero turns. If you find a homeowner who's owned it for 6 years and put 130 fucking kegs on it, it'll still look like you're in for a win.
That's right. He just goes on to say he picked another one up for $500. Jared Summer.
Here he comes.
So he's written us a little fucking story here. He said, Cox commercial 21 inch. Now we know that Jared loves the cock.
Yeah, he loves it.
He says he loves the Kohler motor with the alloy chassis. Very solid mower, but has a few kinks to sort out for longevity. So the Cox commercial 21 inch, I don't actually know a lot. There was a time where I was going to get one, do a little bit of stuff for them.
I wonder what engine it is, the Kohler. Because the Skag has the Command Pro 24.5 cc, I think. So it's a fucking monster.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know really anything about the commercial 21 inch. I'm assuming it would be a wee bang.
Yeah.
I could also be wrong about that.
Yeah.
So he does go on to say the Bush Ranger 110A. I don't know what.
I think that's the straight pusher.
Okay, because even though I have one of them, mate, I don't fucking know the models.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers.
Yeah, I just...
It's a fucking bush mower.
I usually just go by price.
Yeah.
The Lancer is an absolute weapon for catching long grass with an open flap. It goes through just about anything. Also, some issues with longevity. Throttle cable thrashes out. It had a few issues with the chassis not being strong enough. Now, I'm surprised by that. Because the chassis... They just look rank as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Are they not?
I haven't found them. We don't do a lot of fucked up shit. We normally do like quite manicured stuff. So ours are fine. We do villages and stuff that are maintained all year round. So we're not throwing them through. I did see, I don't know who it was back in the day. I don't know if it was when they first came out.
It was the shark bite.
Yeah, fucking someone did a half a brick. And it blew out the front of one of their bushies. And they were still using it.
But you know what I mean? Like, if every single bush ranger was doing the same thing, then you're like, okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If you get one or two here or there.
Yeah.
He will go on to say, Weebang rotary roller.
Yeah, that's a little cool machine.
I can't say I know what that is, but Briggs 750 is a cool little donk, and it's probably the cheapest way to mow and get some stripes. So I'm saying is that
it's a roller mower. So it's a self-propelled pushy.
Yep.
With the back end is a roller from Weebang as well. So it's cool.
Fuck, how many mowers you run? Fucking
I know. What the
Toro Time Master. I've had two and didn't like either of them. Lots of people rave about them, but I was constantly running out of petrol. I don't think that's the mower's fault, dude.
I have actually seen some people put an extra tank on top.
Okay. Maybe they need an Incredibottle.
Oh, shit.
We got them back in stock now.
Do you?
Corey bought them out, yeah.
Oh, bought them out completely?
Yeah, well, they offered me. And I was like, man, I don't have that fucking money.
I wonder if you're like a daytime drinker, if you could put like whiskey in it and be like, here you go. Or a weed smoke and convert it into a bong. Yeah, good. Sorry, a bit crazy there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Had a bit of coffee.
Okay, so small tank and clogging the stupidly long and narrow chute. Side discharge is not much better. Could mulch okay, but still doesn't like long or wet grass. Tends to leave a huge clumps of wet grass on concrete almost every time. So that's on the Time Master. Now, I'm not sure. Like we've seen a lot of negativity around the Time Master. What's the other one? There's the Time Master.
Master.
Oh, the Turf Master. Yeah. Okay. So
well, I thought the Time Master was the good one, and the Turf Master was the Turd Master.
I think the Time Master is the actual residential mower.
Yeah, and that's the one that
everyone. Yeah.
And they beef it up. They change the pulleys and all that sort of shit.
Possibly, yes. Okay. Now, and it's really hard to tell from social media whether these mowers are actually worth going out and buying, because you hear all the bad things about them and then they fucking go out and buy 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, they're like...
I can imagine if you or I had one in our businesses, they'd probably go all right.
Yeah.
Because we're not thrashing them.
That's it.
Like back in the day...
need to buy that.
Mate, back in the day, before I had a zero turn, like someone would ring us up for a block slash, like say 500 square metre block, and the grass was fucking as tall as your nipples, and we'd go in there with push mowers.
Yeah, just fucking hockey strap the shooter.
Yeah.
And just pray you don't hit a brick and fucking lose a limb.
But... and I'm assuming that, there's people still doing stuff like that, but like we just hadn't, you know what I mean? Like we hadn't messed with that shit in ages. So he goes on to say, look, he's got like fucking 4 other mowers here.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Jared? He's got a problem.
So his ego, I have the composite body thingo, and I use it mostly at home. What the fuck is that? Composite body thingo.
I have no idea.
It must be a condition.
So it's a composite. It's a composite body. The chassis is made out of like a composite.
Oh, okay. I'm going down a whole different path.
Composite cock.
Okay, so that's like the plastic.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be like some sort of fucking.
Which I'm not tripping on, by the way, because plastic is fucking. I tell you what, my very first vision of the Catch Pro was plastic.
Really?
It turns out you just need like $500,000 to build one.
Okay, so my very first push mower, before I started getting you guys to mow my lawn, before I was even in the industry, was a lawn beetle from Kmart. And it was a plastic chassis, but it was like a bendable plastic chassis. I don't even know how the fuck it got into the market.
Plastic's fucking like the reason why I wanted to build a plastic Catch Pro was we could pump the units out for $17.
Oh, okay. It's just the initial cost, isn't it?
The molds was just made it unachievable.
Yeah.
You couldn't even do the molds in China and make it, like I couldn't even do it now.
Yeah.
So
maybe down the track.
And there's other engineering difficulties, but plastic rivets and
fucking it'd be light.
Mate, that's so light, and not only that, durable.
Yeah.
So like like the old Honda catches, how they just click in.
Mm-hmm.
We were not going to use that concept. We were going to have like a plastic rivet or something.
Yeah.
But these days plastic is fucking rank. Like, you can actually bottle some cunt with plastic. You can fucking half kill them.
Yeah. Imagine getting hit in the face with a full fucking 1.25 Coke. Hey.
All right. So.
Look, how much shit have you seen about the Victor Mulch Master? People are creaming in their pants every time someone finds one at a dealer. It seems like they'll snap them up.
Look, I've seen a lot of stuff, and like I said, look, I've never massively paid attention just because mulching hasn't been my gig.
Yeah.
But it's one mower that I can say, I've seen a lot of good things about. Lots of people love them.
Yeah.
And
it gives me a little stiffy. I want to give it a go.
Yeah, so
just the
don't mow my lawn.
Just the aura around it seems to be like everybody loves them.
I could the property that I'm living at now, I could use one here because I don't have the leaf litter, and because I mow my lawn like once a week, I could probably. If I could be fucked, I'd run some tests.
Yeah.
I got the 48B right out there, so.
As if you'd fucking push mode.
Well, I got to be honest. I have push mode here with me little bushy.
Yeah. I don't have a choice at my house.
Yeah, so
I can get the 32 in the front section.
Yeah,
it just squeezes through, but not the back.
So, okay. So he says nothing needed to say really, and then has like a little stiffy emoji with some wet emoji.
I'd say that's technically semen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, out of the eggplant, which is technically the penis.
Okay, I thought that was... Yeah, oh, yeah.
I just wanted to visualise that for people listening.
All right, the Honda HRU 216. Yeah, okay. So they do leave an amazing cut, but fuck moi.
Fuck moi.
I'm just reading how it's written. They have some issues. 10 years ago, contractors were getting like 8 seasons out of a 216D. Nowadays, if you make it last 2 seasons, you're doing okay. Now, I'll hold it there. 2 seasons is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's reality or not.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Gearbox, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
It's usually the cable that's the issue, not the gearbox. But I don't have a lot of confidence in them anymore. I have 2 216s sitting in the shed. We'll probably patch them up and move on. Did you want to say anything?
No, I was going to say that I feel like maybe it's just that period of fuck gearboxes have really tainted the Honda name. And to be honest, I don't think they give a fuck. They haven't done anything about it. They haven't released anything to contractors. I haven't seen any fucking, I don't really see much from Honda at all anymore.
It's a shame. It's a shame we don't
everywhere. Everywhere.
And I mean, look, they still are everywhere, but it's a shame we don't have any good Honda presence in the page.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, look, when you have such a market share like Honda does, it's the same as Cub Cadet and Husqvarna and John Deere and all that stuff. Even though they're not as prominent in the zero-turn market, like in the contractor market, those brands, they don't give a fuck because, mate, they're doing agricultural, they're doing golf, they're doing residential, they're doing prosumer, they're doing contractor. They got a little bit of everything and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Honda is probably a little bit the same way. Mate, they own that market.
Yeah.
Just by having a fucking red engine, they sell machines.
And people recognise them, especially homeowners. And the boomer generation would only know those fucking top of the line, last forever Hondas. And I do, look, everybody's got to realise that things aren't built the same way. Like, look at all your snippers and shit now. I bet you're fucking turning over snippers and things like that maybe a year or two earlier than you used to because of all the changes that they had to make to all the, the efficiency, like, what is it, the emissions bullshit?
Yeah, and they upgrade the moulds and do all sorts of things.
They do.
So, all right, Honda...
Fucking hell, he's got another one.
HRU 196.
He's got another 2.
I have one tucked away in the shed ready to go for next Renault season as a scalping pig. I do like the GXV 160 motor with the revs bumped up. They do pack a decent punch. So...
I agree. Very good mower.
That seems to be the sort of the standard, right?
Yeah.
The HRU 196.
Yep. I mean, it's not a self-propelled, but for push mowers, I think it's a fucking excellent choice. And you know what? Like, it's only because I've run one for, I think I've had it for like 4 years, and it hasn't missed a beat. I'm hoping that my bushy does the same, my pushy, and yeah, we'll see.
Oh, I like it when you say that.
I know. It came off the tongue real nice.
Toro 21-inch commercial is next on his list to buy.
Okay. Sorry.
So I haven't heard much about the 21-inch Toro.
No, I've seen a couple being bought lately. Yeah. Is this fucking Jared again?
Yeah, so now he's got a separate comment. In all honesty, you're better off calling me if you want to record. I have plenty to say on the matter.
Good God.
That's funny. Maybe we will get Jared in one day and talk about all of his failed push mowers.
Hey, before we go too much further, we probably should give Bad Workwear a bit of a shout out and just say, if you're looking to fucking stay warm this week or this month or for the next fucking 32 years, go and see Bushranger. Bad Workwear. You're not going to get any fucking hot stuff out of Bushranger. You're just going to get...
They might give you some promo gear.
Maybe. Go and use our code SKULL at badworkwear.com.au. I'm decking out the boys this week. I got the order up and then I sent it to them and I said, how do you guys like these shirts? Yeah, no, I probably prefer collared ones, hey. And I was like, fuck! I really wanted to pimp you guys out, but it looks like we're going for the pop your collar.
But they got collared shirts, right?
Oh, yeah, they got fucking everything.
So I got to be honest, I don't think there's anything left for me to buy.
Really?
I'm wearing the undies, I'm wearing the socks, I'm wearing the boots, I've got the glasses, I've got the hats.
I wish you surprised me with a pair of socks today. My feet are fucking freezing.
How's BJ? It's 12 degrees outside and he rocks in with pluggers.
And shorts. Oh, really short shorts. Oh.
And if anyone's actually watching this show right now, I am like, I've got clothing on everywhere, and I've got my hood on as well.
Yeah, well, wait, check this fucking beanie out. Now, this was a gift from Ben. Ben gifted me this because he said his head was too little.
It's true, man.
He has a little itty bitty head. So this looks fucking excellent. I looked at myself in the mirror and I touched my nipples on the way
Giving
out
himself
today.
props. Now,
no one else is going to give them to me.
Get amongst the flannies, guys.
Oh yeah, flannies.
They are a smaller fit, I reckon. So you might want to upsize one, but they're really nice. They're nice. I mean, look, from what I understand, in Queensland, we're not really doing layers.
Yeah.
We just either wear a hoodie or a jacket or a flanny.
Yeah.
Whereas down south, they're doing layers.
Yeah.
So they might actually wear a hoodie and a jacket.
What about Rusty did layers with that Sherpa?
So Rusty, yes, he does layers. He cranks a flanny open and they'll throw a jacket over the top.
Very sexy.
So he's a fucking heartthrob, that dude. Steve Tyrrell, no Massport. Jared, bitch, please, I'm professional. Jared actually goes on to say that he actually started out with a Rover Pro Cart, non-self-propelled. I pushed that bitch through hell and back, and it just kept going. It finally died one day when the blade carrier bolt that attaches to the drive shaft sheared off, and I could never get it out. The Kohler motor it had still sits on the shelf in the shed. So
that's a good props for them.
Yeah. Jonathan Delaney says HRU 216 just kept going. I run the Massport AL 191 for winter when the ground is a little softer. Pick up a mulch and weigh with fluids under 35 kilos.
That's
so I'm not sure what the specs are or weights and stuff like that. I'm not.
Well, I know that like the Bushy and the Hondas sit around the 57-ish. I think maybe Honda's a little bit lighter. But yeah,
I'd say it is. Like I know that the Bushy was on the heavier side of all of them. Steve Tyrrell at 54. I've just got my first self-propelled mulch master.
What a fucking beast.
Well done, Steve. Love my Massport 5000 pushy as it's light and easy to maneuver. Don't mind pushing it. It keeps me fit.
Very attractive man.
Push mowing, man. It keeps you fit.
As you can see, I'm self-propelled all the way.
Adam Ratcliffe says, I know someone else who loves their Massport. Aaron says, blade brake is a must. Would be interested in a 26-inch Honda 216 variation. That's pretty cool.
That's a bit different.
It's sort of like, I mean, the jump from 21 to 30 is pretty extreme.
It's huge.
So 21.6.
I've never heard that before.
26 inch, I kind of like it,
Everyone's always talking about the 30s. 26.
Massport are a bucket of shite. What competes with the big three? Toro Time Master / Time Cutter. Honda 216 Bush Ranger SP. Modifying a standard collecting mower, throwing out the back to a side throw without having to buy a dedicated one. I can understand that. Could the catching bags be bigger without throwing off the dynamic of the machine 25 to 30%? To be honest, I'd say they could be bigger.
Yeah, I do too. I think they could do a little bit more.
I think what they do... So I think what you'll find, everyone... is if they enlarge is that a word?
Nah. Okay. Definitely not.
If they I'm gonna say it again.
Say it again.
If they enlarge
the
fucking catches on these machines, it's gonna go into your walking space.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what
fuck, don't you say nothing about it.
I'm about to talk about the catches.
I'm just gonna go and commit suicide
on
now.
The Skag. Fucking boo-hoo. Nah, the catches on the Skag are quite enlarged.
You know what? Just stop.
Why?
I feel like such a dumb fuck that I've said that.
No, it's fine. Do you know how much dumb shit I say that makes no sense?
I'm not usually illiterate, and now I just feel like a dumb fuck.
I have said some of the worst shit. It just makes no sense to anybody. And I just look at everyone's face and I know that they're looking at me like, you're fucked, mate. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm paying the bills, you dogs.
You can get back to your comment in a second.
Okay.
One night...
Did you enlarge it?
This is when...
Oh my God. I'm going to say to Lou tonight, I'll be like, check it out, I'm all enlarging.
Just with a little bow around it.
Yeah.
Keeping all the blood at the tip.
Fuck yeah.
No, what I was going to say is one night, this is when Rusty lived with us, we're having a conversation and I said the word pronunciation. And they're both fucking looking at me like I've, said something fucked. And I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at? And they're like, what the hell's pronunciation? I'm like, that's how you say the word. And I don't know, I get sometimes, I was like, no, that is the word, pronunciation.
Did they have you guessing?
Huh?
Did they have you second guessing yourself?
Not really.
Yeah, okay.
But when it's 2 against 1, because Rusty's smart.
Yeah.
And Vicky's pretty smart as well, but the thing with Vicky is she doesn't speak up a lot.
Yeah.
So usually when she does speak, it's like it has some credibility.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how the fuck do you say it? And she's like, it's pronunciation or pronunciation or whatever the fuck she said. I'm trying to, And anyway, we ended up Googling it, and I was right.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe just a word that I've been saying for just so many years.
You get this.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
And the odds that there were 2 people that say it the same way, just there fucking gotten ya. Get it? See?
Two smart people.
Gotten ya.
Gotten ya.
They gotten ya, mate. I was supposed to say got India, but I just shortened it because that's what we do.
That's all right. Usually free.
I'm always specific about what I say.
Usually I take 3 of these at once.
Oh, fuck.
All right, going back to the Skag catch-up.
Oh, so I feel like they have extended the actual hangers. So you do have a little bit more of a walking gait. I haven't hung up on it. I've got a big stride.
Ain't never gonna break my stride.
Yeah, nobody gonna slow me down. And it has a bigger bag. Now, I don't know with the bigger bag capacity, I haven't really found that it's noticeably heavier. But
no, it won't be, dude. So with the Catch Pro ride, people say the same thing. And the variables are in the actual leaf that you're cutting.
Okay, so if it's wet or if it's...
Yeah, so if you're mowing a pretty nice lawn, taking off, I'm just going to say the correct amount, right?
Yeah.
Just a normal amount. Mate, you can fucking pack that thing all day, and the weight, the dry weight barely changes.
Yeah.
But if you're catching a really dense lawn, and you're taking off a lot of leaf, you can kind of quarter fill it or you can full fill it.
Yeah.
And that's where the variable is.
Yep.
So, look, no matter what, a catcher bag versus a Catch Pro is just never gonna, you know what I mean? If people can lift and empty a Catch Pro, they can handle a push mower.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna get you a third more than what you could, then I think it's worth it and relative. You know what someone hit me up about the other day? Someone rang me and I think they wanted a whipper gripper. And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking 6'8". And I was like, holy fuck.
Was that the dude that put up the thread on LMCA?
I don't think he was on there, but he might be.
Okay.
I can't remember. But he was a new guy getting into the industry. Now 6'8" is pretty fucking serious, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought Hugh was way taller than me. So when that thread went up about I'm 6'7" or something, he's asked, is the whipper gripper going to suit?
Maybe it was the same dude, but yeah.
Yeah, but I thought Hugh's name. Hugh and I are the same height. I didn't know that. He looks way fitter than me. Maybe that's what it is.
He looks fit.
He's so fit.
Anyway, what I was saying is this dude, he's got a Bush Ranger, push mower or self-propel, whatever. And he said, mate, do you sell anything any sort of hanger extensions for fucking big cunts like me? I should probably stop dropping the C-bomb, but
Drop it like it's hard. Drop it like it's hard.
But is there any push mowers out there that offer? Now we know you can get foldable ones to pack them up for storage. Can you get extendable ones for long people? I think
so. That's a fucking good one.
New to fucking catch, bro. All right, Troy Carroll. Now I'm not sure if Troy Carroll is a contractor anymore.
Oh?
Or maybe it's one of these dudes. I don't know.
I think you're fucking tripping there.
Okay. All right. It might have been. I don't know. Everyone's got the same name these days.
Maybe it's
there's
Tony Corral.
Okay, so I'm still bitter that my brand new 216 blast the mulch plug back into the catcher.
Yeah, that's weird. Is it because you're not supposed to have the catcher on?
Nah, because then it'd be blasting at your shins.
No, it wouldn't, because the back flap comes down.
Oh, but then that wouldn't... The back flap, does it hold it in? I sound like a newbie right now, but it's true.
I don't know.
So... Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, that doesn't seem like it should be happening. But then you shouldn't be running a mulch plug with a catcher, right?
But that's what he goes on to say. Now we can't give the illusion that he's catching to his customers.
That's really smart, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if he does like a little pretend empty.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Like, hey, I'm just emptying the catcher now.
Mow a fucking 800 square metre block and empty the catcher once.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. But, hey man, you should get that looked at.
Bit of glue, bit of sticky tape, should be right.
David Kerrison. Keen to see how the new Skag 30-inch goes when we get our hands on it in Australia. Seen mixed reviews in and out of the US. My main SP is the Turf Master, so like to see it side by side. Now, I will say, this is just purely on specs. Everyone knows that I have, a little bit of a foot in Skag, as do you. Well, you got your whole body in there. I'm a little bit involved, but that's where I think the Skag is making a lot of sense for guys that are using this Turf Master, because the Turf Master, what was it retailing? Is it like 27 or 3,700?
Yeah, something like that.
I know that there's a big difference between 27 and 37.
No, I think it's up around the 37.
Okay, so I think
I need to do my research on those.
Yeah. So I do think that that's where the Skag 30 is really going to come into play. The Turf Master is, supposed to be the commercial option. We do know that, there's the way that it works in the US is really not relative to how it's working here. That's what's different about the Skag. Yes, the Skag is almost the same in the American market as it is here, but the way that they've built it, they've really built it for the guys down south, and they built it for... They haven't just built it to...
So they changed it. So the one I got, when it came in, it had these two tabs that used to hang down, and it used to impede you getting as low as you should be able to go with a bushy in Australia. So what they've done... they've changed it now, and they're actually a bolt-on. It's an option. They can unbolt those, and
you can bolt it on if you want to be a fuckwit.
Yeah, fucking if you hit another 4 inches. But yeah, they've changed that up. There's a few little changes. The casters, I can't wait to fucking see what they're like. Hopefully I'll get a set. Maybe. Yeah. Well, they should give you a fucking set. Maybe.
Otherwise, you should drop your ambassadorship and go with Cub Cadet. See, that was a good organic response.
Yeah, we shouldn't laugh that hard. I feel bad now.
I have two HRU 216 machines. Most reliable mower once you've tweaked the RPMs. Now, I'm not tripping on that because I think a lot of guys are doing that with bushies. Parts are easy to get, and most work can be done yourself for maintenance. Also agree. Price is great for the machine. Doesn't like wet grass, but catches really well otherwise with 4 high lift blades. Speaking of wet grass, I know that there are some machines that excel with it.
Yeah.
But we got to face it. No product testing is ever done on wet grass.
No.
It's just not. In a manufacturer's mind, it's like, look, We're not mowing in the wet, all right?
Yeah.
Now,
That's not realistic when you get fucking weeks of wet.
Now, no, of course not. Is a mower that catches in the wet way better? Yes, I do think so.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's ever going to be, people say the same thing about the Catch Pro, and yes, it can do okay in the wet. It's just not something that, when people say like, oh, does it catch in the wet? It's like, well, mate, it does to some extent, but it's just never going to be the same.
No.
Is this, how do you say that? Is that Garrett?
Garrett Mellin.
Okay, Garrett. That's a newbie. Cylinder mowing.
That was his whole comment.
That is the comment. It would have been great if Garrett could have shed some more light on that, because we don't know fuck all about cylinder mowing.
Very new.
And we would love to talk about it more.
I think Hugh, when we get Hugh on, that would be...
All them WA boys.
Oh, yeah.
West side is not the best side. Footscray.
Before we keep going, I got to pee.
Okay, so we're all piddled up now.
I feel good.
Yeah, man, I dropped like a litre.
Yeah, that was like a fucking... We've already been going for about an hour and a half, so it was about time.
Well, I'm on my third durry, so. All right, so Footscray says, Victor Mulchmaster 560, every other mower is just an ex-girlfriend.
Oh!
Don't diss ex-girlfriends, man.
Shots fired.
Some of them were fun. But hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
That's it.
And that's what works for Footscray. So, and you know what? People have seconded that, so valid comment.
That's it.
Mark Bennett, is there a perfect mower that can 3-in-1 do it all exceptionally well? I'm not sure.
It's a good question.
So I'm assuming that's mulch, catch, throw.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, your Skag would be up there, wouldn't it? With mulch,
It'd
catch,
be up
throw?
there. I haven't used a lot of mulch, catch, throw fucking systems. I know like there's a few other models, there's 21-inch models that have got it. I don't want to comment on things that I haven't had a lot of exposure to.
Just quickly, it's fucking hilarious.
What's that?
My little Bush Ranger battery can do all three.
No way.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But it's not something that you can.
It has a nice cut. It has.
Oh no, it's not a contractor's mower.
Yeah.
Like, you have to use it.
Carefully.
No. Like the build and everything's good.
Yeah.
It's just that, mate, it's not going to catch. Like, it's a little battery mower. It's a domestic mower.
What about Gazza? What's Gazza got to say?
Yeah, I'll just quickly get there. Adrian says, Honda, sometimes mulch, sometimes catch, sometimes spit out the back, but always Honda. End of the podcast. Fight me, cunts. Whoa. I wish we did end, like, I wish I knew that was there, so we could have ended the podcast with it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna fight him? I don't think he was talking to me.
Oh, you think me? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, man, who would want to fight me?
Probably Alistair.
All right, Mark Bennett, Honda 216 can catch, can discharge, cannot mulch. Gary Ashton over at Aussie Lawn Stars says, go the Pelink 24-inch mowers or the Ryobi if you can't afford Pelink. Surely that's a G up. Seriously though, if you can't afford a Pelink, you're just a cowboy. Is that another joke?
I have no idea.
Like, that's the top. Aren't those mowers worth like $5,000?
Something fucking redonkulous.
So maybe that was a joke.
And their presence in the Australian contractor market is pretty minimal as well. I understand that. Look, from what I've been told by even other manufacturers that do battery gear, that they are pretty much, they're fucking up there. They're top of the line.
And fucking Jim was using one from Jim's Mowing.
Fucking Jim was using one.
That's got to give it all the credibility.
That's
right?
it.
So I don't know. There's probably a little bit of banter in this comment.
Yeah. Can't tell.
The Pelink, I think is a serious player.
Yep.
I think battery, is the future, whether people like it or not. It's just inevitable.
Yeah.
Andy Ness says 21-inch has to have enough power, 5.5 horsepower or more. Foot pace is important too. Max speed should have you near running, but you should be able to crawl with it too. I agree. Weight is another thing. Some find an issue. I'm not fast. I have ramps and staff. Oh, that is the best comment ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I'm not worried about the weight of that machine because I got staff.
Yeah, fucking Greg from accounting can do it.
So shoot to catcher should be short and wide. No room for wet grass to stick then build up. The Bush Ranger SP with the Lonson motor so far has been the best I've used in 15 years.
I'm not going to lie, right now I swallowed a fucking ice cube. Oh my God.
Do you have ice cubes in there?
Yeah, dude. There's been ice cubes in there since this morning.
No blade brake on mine, but I think the new ones have it. Toro Time Master 30-inch also has its place too. Now, that's a pretty big comment to say that the Bush Ranger is the best he's used in 15 years.
Yeah.
So, that's really interesting, and saying that the Time Master 30-inch also has its place in the market, which is, I do believe that too.
Me too.
So, I don't know, are they like $1,700? Or
Got me fucked? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
It's got to be something like that.
So for 1,700, actually, I don't know. I might have to draw. Look, I think for 1,700, you kind of want a mower that can really do it all.
Yeah.
So maybe, and we know that those mowers can't do it all.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't have its place. I don't know.
Fucking team.
I guess it depends on how much people are turning over with them.
Yeah.
How much money.
Yeah.
Ash Smithers, Mr. Smithers. I saw an old guy mowing his lawn a few months ago and asked him why he didn't have a self-propelled mower. He said, "You young ones think you're hot shit with your self-driving mowers. Never worked a hard day in your life. I'm old school." I said, "I work smarter, not harder." He told me to piss off. The old guy was my dad.
That's one of those fucking stories I thought.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like, I think working smart, like, don't get me wrong, I think this generation...
Steve's jumped in with a fucking, your dad's right, you're all pussies.
No, look, I'm on both sides of the fence here. Like, I do think our generation, maybe we're on the tail end of the last, true working generation.
There's always going to be grunt work. We are the backbone. Like, the hard workers of Australia there's always going to have hard workers in Australia.
Yeah, look, but like I said, I'm all for working smarter, not harder. Only
it's
because
these fucking robo mowers that are going to ruin the industry.
Well,
fucking hell.
See, I disagree with that too. Like,
I do. I'm joking.
Yeah, like I don't like. Yes, I think. Look, I was talking to Clinton from Camden Garden Solutions the other day, and we all know that he is selling the robot mowers now, or installing them, or doing both, whatever. And I said it straight to him. Look, I believe, yes, that there will be a market, but I don't think that they're really going to be replacing anyone's jobs.
No.
And if people out there do think that, well, the joke's on you, because the workforce is a fucking heap of shit, and you deserve to get replaced by robots. It is true.
What if they become Transformers and we get all fucking carved up?
As long as they do blowies.
The Blowmatic will be bouncing out of the sex shop.
Imagine Biggie, hey bro! Nah, sorry, I'm with me husky Roby. Or maybe I'll go to PLP and I'll get Paul Sheehan to design one. It's like, hey Paul, can you get a mower that will blow me?
Oh my god. What would we call it?
And he'd be like...
We could call it the Blover.
And he'd be...
Instead of Rover.
And he'd be like, oh yeah, how do you want to design it? Well, open up. I'm so fucking lucky he doesn't listen to this. Can you imagine Graham Allen over there? Just lining me up for a headbutt?
Yeah.
Now, Ben, I fucking told you.
Yeah.
If you be gay to me once, I'm going to fucking kill you. No one knows because they haven't met him, but fuck me. All right. Another time he said, why don't you just lift it into the trailer? I said, why would you when I can just drive it up the ramp? Told me to piss off again. Jeez, his dad's a hard bastard.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Maybe we should like bottle him with a plastic bottle.
Yeah. Technology.
Adrian. Ash Smithers, fuck his dad.
Oh, fuck yeah. You can tell this is a skull session.
Okay, Jamie says, I started out with a
Einhell.
Einhell
or Finkel. Finkel or Einhorn.
What the fuck is an Einhell?
I don't know.
Self-propelled.
Some Scheisler mower.
21-inch single blade. After 2 years, the self-propelled part failed, so I disconnected it and I'm still using it as a backup mower.
Wow.
6 years. Man, I don't get it. This is not...
Skip!
There's nothing justifying it. Like, it broke after 2 years and now he's had it for 6 years as a backup mower.
Yeah, but he turned it into I don't know.
Yeah, he turned it into a push. We're trying to talk about, like, what's the best... okay, so Rob Meller. Now, anyone who doesn't know who Rob Meller is an absolute champ. I haven't had the chance to meet him, but he's a Briggs & Stratton rep down south somewhere. Look, I'm going to say Sydney. It might not be, but I think he is from Sydney.
Yep. Really
great guy. A lot of the Briggs guys are very cool.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have much of a presence here.
Yeah. There's not much at all.
Rob's always been here, but I don't think everyone knows who Rob is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's what you said.
So Rob Meller, if anyone is ever wanting to know anything, really great guy. If you want to know anything about the Ferris brands or, say, Shindela, Echo, Rob Meller is there for you. Now, his comment is generally interested in this topic. It's interesting to note that there are very little brands that comply with Australian standards. Now, I'm going to stop the comment right here and say, Rob, I'm not feeling this comment. Also, whether a mower is suited to Australian or European standards with the front skirt leading to the blades. In Europe, the skirt needs to be below the leading edge of the blade, helps with mulching, but makes a push mower hard to push. Australian mowers normally have a little more opening. So I was not predicting this sort of comment.
No.
I'm not even really sure how to respond. I do know, obviously, look, surely the mowers would be compliant. How would they ever get past safety standards anyway? But a lot of the battery mowers, I know that front leading edge is too low.
Oh, okay.
And so when you...
Do you reckon they're product dumps from the European market?
Certainly not Ego. Certainly not Bush Ranger. Like, they're the ones that I've experienced it with.
Well, see, I've never had I reckon I'm going to get an Ego push mower.
I reckon I'll end up with an Ego one as well. There's just so many models out there. I don't know which one to fucking choose.
So I was looking and I was like, fuck, there are so many. I was waiting to see one with a fucking pull string as well, but there was none. Get that nostalgia.
So, no, look, I think, and look, at the end of the episode, I was going to touch on it a little bit, but we'll just hover through the comments because I think we are running out of...
Yeah, I think our camera's going to run out of time.
I think we're running out of air time. So, Sean Smith says, Rover fucked up. They had the best self-propelled mower out there, then someone had a brain fart, currently running the 19-inch Honda and Bush Ranger. Love them both, but I dream of my old Rovers. So, look, at the moment, this Rover Pro Cart, has... so much. Rob Meller says agreed. They had the best chassis by far. Footscray also seconds this, saying this is true. Jamie's come back and said the new Honda 19 HRU has the air filter near the carby, which pisses me off. The old model has it up on the handle. Local shop, $30 filter, eBay 42 for 10. So, yeah. I don't have anything to add there. Stephen Ween from Chromo. We ran Massport pushies for over a year before going to self-propelled. I love the Massports for the large discharge chute, but the catches are smaller than most. So are we saying here that Massports have a full chute or just a larger chute?
Well, I'd say if they're not self-propelled, there's no need to cut that chute off. Okay. So maybe they're a full chute.
So before going
or
to
a
SP,
larger chute.
Love the Massports for the discharge chute. Okay.
Well, that's what blocks the chute.
Yeah.
Your gearbox fucks you. So, and that's where Rover Pro Cart had that fucking gearbox up top.
He goes on to say, not the size that matters, it's the way you use it. Yeah. That's what I...
Thank God.
That's what I tell my Kiwi princess. Massport generally have solid catches, which means less airflow for suction. They make up for this with great high lift blades. They can catch or mulch with just a mulch plug, as the blades are well designed for both. That being said, catching is for kings. Not going to touch on that. Our SP Bush Ranger 110A with the Lonson. This decision was made due to it being the only self-propelled mower available at the time, because we glad we bought it, because it's an absolute weapon. Now, I will say something about that. Yes, I believe Bush Ranger, whilst I do believe they have a great product, and a product that's just as credible as the Honda,
Yep.
I believe that they got over really hard because Honda was struggling so much.
That's it, and they had stock.
And look, for a product to go into a saturated market, there's not a better time to release than when the competition's down.
100%, yeah.
And then you just fucking walk past and you stomp them. You just, hi to me.
Yeah. Stay down.
Despite having half-size chute, the catcher folks beautifully with no blockages.
Shoot.
Blockages as the mesh catcher breathes well. The only downside to this self-propelled mower is no blade break. I guess that makes a good introduction to self-propelled mowers when transitioning from pushies. Good point.
Yep.
However, the blade brake is now available.
Yeah.
We also run Massport utility pushy, which doesn't see much action since buying the Bush Ranger self-propelled. So very, very, very thorough contribution.
Yep.
Thank you, Crowy. I actually prefer to call him Weenie.
Weenie?
So hopefully he'll show it to me one day.
Oh, wowzers.
Russell Fender, Toro recycler deck with the Rover full chute self-propelled. Hold up. What's happening? Toro recycler with the Rover full chute self-propelled.
Is he franking?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Rusty.
Should say or?
No. I've just read on a little bit.
Oh, okay.
He's actually putting what he's trying to do is he's trying to take the best features.
Oh, I see.
So this is great. From Russell Fender. Toro recycler deck with the Rover full chute self-propelled with the Lonson 1966 motor with the Skag caster wheels. That would be one beast of a mower.
Yeah.
Best parts of the best mowers put together. Currently run the DMC Honda SP. It's nothing special. It does the job every time it's asked to. And when doing tight access or retirement villages, the Stihl RMA 510V comes out. Now I haven't messed with any of the battery Stihl units yet. I'm assuming they have some credibility, but look, that was good. Putting all the features together, that's really cool. So Craig asks, happy with the Stihl mower? I mean, it's only, Russell responds with, it's only meant for maintenance work, but I have put it through some thick stuff. Once they release the new bigger battery here in Oz, I want to use it a lot more. So
fair enough.
Good breakdown there. I am going to start flying through because we probably only got about 3 or 4 minutes, guys. Jack Sheldon says, hear me out. HRU 216 with front caster wheels and enough juice to put on board wheels behind it to stand on. That's a fun, mate. That is
like a
fun,
sulky.
Yeah, like a sulky. That's a fun little thing. I wish we could talk about it a little more. Jack Sheldon has shown a picture in response of I believe that is a Toro Pro line.
Okay.
It might not be the Pro line. That's definitely what they were called at one point.
Yep.
But that's their commercial walk with the sulky. I think I heard someone say that sulkies are illegal in Australia. Who gives a fuck? Now, all of these replies, I see Alistair Slapdick Duncan with a comment here, and I'm trying to click on I thought the replies were deleted, but Gary Ashton says, sulkies should be illegal everywhere. Are they considered especially unsafe? I've never used one. I can say that the sulky itself is not unsafe.
Yeah.
It's the fucking things that you're standing behind that are fucking, oh my God.
What are they? Direct drive machines?
Direct drive.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
There's so many different sulkies as well.
The sulkies, like I said, that's not the issue. So Jack Sheldon, explain why should they be illegal? I've only seen a couple YouTube, Instagram, TikToks of them. They're dangerous. The walk-behind machines, they use them on a difficult to control and more so with the sulky. This is Gary Ashton responding, and pretty much what he's saying is true.
Yeah.
Have a listen to the guys in the USA and Canada that used to use them. They no longer do. Now, that's also... Lots of people still do use them.
Yeah.
Even our man, Kenny Morris.
Yeah, he uses Pro Slide.
Which is, you couldn't use a Pro Slide anywhere in Australia.
Nah.
They don't have wheels. You just fucking skid. You just skull drag
on the fucking... May as well fucking tie a tarp to the back of your mower.
With the sulkies, really, like all of the mower brands, that's why there's 32s now, because they just need to slowly start phasing out those machines. But the beauty about them is you can get a fucking 52-inch walk behind over there for like $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And they're every bit as much beefy as the actual zero turns.
Yeah, they've just got nothing behind, no seats.
And what's funny as fuck is not all of them are ignition start. You have to you're pulling cords for them. Alistair says not very common outside of America, and where they would have been in the market is taken now by 32 standards. Oh, finally, you said something that makes sense. Nanki, I have indeed tried one a while back. Actually worked out okay, but need a proper way to mount said sulky, and it would be likely destroy the gearbox. So I think what Nanki could be talking about there is he's tried a sulky behind a push self-propelled mower. We've all thought about it.
Yeah.
But the motors are just nowhere. The motors and gearboxes are nowhere near spec. Really just trying to get through some comments here. More powerful engine on the Honda would be nice. This is from Dale Lang. How about a full opening chute, 4 to 6 speed, self-propelled, cup holder and a radio, cab Bluetooth earmuff headset.
Fuck me.
Fucking hell, Dale.
Jesus. That's the machine that has the Blowmatic on it.
I think it's the Blowmaster, but yeah.
Blowmatic. I'm sure there's one of each.
I feel sorry for the ladies here listening. Rover self-propelled Pro Cart. Been using them for 6 years. Absolute weapon. Have we read this comment before? Scott Jones, are you fucking cutting and pasting your shit down lower so we read it twice? Oh, that's classic.
So nice we had to say it twice.
Jared Summer says, realistically, there's enough members in LMCA to design the perfect self-propelled mower.
There's not enough money, though.
I do agree. Mark Ladaway.
Fucking g'day, Mark.
He's a big walker guy. I couldn't imagine he'd have too much love for push mowers. But it can't beat HRU 216, been with me since day one. Why push when you can be dragged behind? Gearbox issues rarely, mostly cable adjustment or else incorrect position on gearbox pinion. Normally out by 2 notches from the factory setting hole punch. Other than cord... I just hope this isn't what I think it's going to be. Other than cord, wheels, oil and blades, nothing much ever needs to be replaced. I get the oil and blades, but what the fuck is doing with the cords and the wheels? Perfect.
I always keep spare cord on board.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like one of those things like, yes, you keep some cord on board for the fact that maybe once or twice in a season, potentially. But you
one of the boys super whacks it so hard.
But you shouldn't need to keep that fucking shit there. Like, imagine being like, there's my backup wheels.
Yeah.
Like, I've got them on the rig just in case.
Shoes.
Just in case my wheels fuck up.
216. Another Pro Cart.
Yes, Paul Hyman, 100% Rover Pro Cart. Sports a full chute. I reckon a mulch is better than my Victor Mulch Master.
Oh my god!
Geez, I wish we had more time. We probably only got about 2 minutes here. Tim Samuel, Honda HRU 216 with the snorkel.
You know what we could do? I could pause it and delete some family photos off my phone, and then we could read.
Let's just see that it goes on for quite a bit, mate. So let's do it. Let's
take a pause. We'll be back with some more push mower controversy. So we're back on. I've deleted some very important family photos from my life. Hopefully Lou does.
Wedding photos?
Yeah, wedding photos. So
I bet you kept all your nudes that you found.
I only kept the one where I look good and big and thick. So that's all of them. Now, where we at?
So we don't have to rush as much. Because I just feel like we were breezing over too many comments that we could
rock and roll
touch base on. So Tim Samuel says Honda HRU with the snorkel air filter is way better. 4 high lift blades for catching, 4 low lift blades for mulching, along with the plug. I'd be interested to know, would people change those blades? With Tim Samuel, would he change those blades during the week, or does he mean like, okay, I'm just going to do a lot of catching in the summer, maybe I'll do most of my mulching in the mulching in the winter, and that's when I'll put me low lifts on? Like, what
if you're really efficient, you'd have 2 discs, wouldn't you? 2 fucking.
Oh my gosh, boy!
And then just fucking buzz one off and buzz the other one back on.
Yeah.
Change your style with the flick of the wrist.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Honda HR196 push mower for tiny lawns with next to no access, light as a feather, just need knocky strap to hold the catcher on if you're catching.
Yeah, we know about that.
I got one of those, those rubber ones, and they don't have like heaps of tension.
Yeah, I know.
And they got like the metal hooks.
That's what I got on mine.
What I did with mine was I just tied a knot on the catcher, and I've made it all like neat and that, so it doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
And then you just bung it on.
Same.
And you legitimately have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up.
It's like good. It goes to show how much fucking airflow. That's why they're getting that catcher packed to the max.
So then, haven't used anything else in 15 years, but my next push mower will likely be battery. Would love a Pelink, but not sure I'm too keen to sell one of my kidneys just to get it. They're a little bit pricey. Now, I do want to say, I think with the Pelink, I think now with fuel prices the way that they are, even though the Pelinks, I think like they're like $5,000 or something.
Yeah.
Is that the whole kit, or is that just the mower skin?
So I think the skin is 2,600, and the battery is 2,600.
Okay, cool.
I feel like the battery though is very efficient. Conrad would be a good bloke to talk to in regards to that.
He would, and I'm not sure if he's in this thread, like where we're looking at most of this organically, but. Look, I know. Look, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. It's fucking, simple as that.
It's a huge investment. Like you just, it's a big upfront cost unless you get it on.
I really think now, now that we're paying almost double for fuel than what we were, along with all the advantages of maintenance, like you think with the Pelink, you ain't messing with these throttle cables. You're not messing with gearboxes.
I don't know if there's much maintenance at all. I don't know if you have to grease anything.
I mean, if it's got swivel wheels, you might need to grease it. Otherwise, man, you just fucking push a button.
Yeah.
So I do think, even though yes, they're expensive, I kind of think it's the gift that's going to keep on giving.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't see how you could go wrong in today's world. Daniel Maud says to Tim Samuel that just the catcher falling is a pain. Yep, agreed. That's what the strap is for. Jack Sheldon says, referring to my comment above, this is what dreams are made of, taking orders. So what does he have? He has a sulky with swivel wheels on what looks to be a Honda.
He's gone out of his way to fucking...
Very creative.
Yeah, jeez, mate. Good on you.
JT. Remember JT? Remember JTT from
Backstreet Boys?
No, it's
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yes, that heartthrob from Home Improvement. Yeah. He was fucking Simba in The Lion King as well. Yeah, just saying.
I could sing some of those songs, but I'm not going.
It means no worries. Try to watch that with my kids, and they're like, "Dad, this sucks." I'm like, "Fuck you, kids."
Wait until you start crying when fucking Simba's dad gets attacked by fucking water buffalo
or Uncle
Wildebeest. Yeah, fuck that guy.
So back to JT's comment. Just spending an hour talking about the Time Master 30-inch. Everyone will thank you later. As far as weight and value for money, it's a winner. Yes, I know it's not officially a commercial mower. Now, JT, I know we started off giving you props about your name because it's kind of cool, like JT.
Yeah.
But, and look, I haven't used this Time Master 30, but there was a point in time where I was actually taking screenshots of all the fuck-ups from the Time Master 30-inch to accumulate for other mowing companies that were looking to develop something. So, you know, I probably, even though, you know, maybe I'm not 100% qualified, you know, I probably just can't agree with this comment.
And you know, the most important thing is it works in your business. So who gives a fuck what anyone says?
And, you know, I was getting there.
Yeah. But to be honest, there's a lot of things in here, like there's a lot of guys that are like, I've fucking run the same shit for 15 years. And it's like, well, maybe there is something better out there,
but I mean,
but why break it if it's not? If
it's truly
why fix
working,
it if it's not broken?
If it's truly working,
yeah. And if you're comfortable with it, it makes you money. Fucking why chop and change?
Andy says we run the 216s, but the last couple have had more clutch and gearbox issues than our previous ones ever did. So I'm open-minded to anything that's as good or better. Doing the maths on a Pelink for 2 years compared to a 216 for 2 years, I think the Pelink will be ahead. Nil fuel and minimal electricity cost to charge it up. It's got a couple of extra girth inches. Oh, I love the way he's used that word,
and
girth.
He put in one of those little inverted commas.
Yeah, it's for me to stress it like girth. Gis and girth, eh? And pivotal front wheels will reduce the toll on your body. Andy, I love this comment. I do think that you're correct. You know, I think it does take a little bit of time to sort of get ahead, and you know, you have an outlay.
Yeah.
But I think once you make that initial outlay, start putting the machine to work, you can immediately start gaining back from that machine.
100%.
So JT says, don't forget to mention the benefits of ego mowers, especially in tight access areas and steps. You also can't beat the quality durability of a Honda. Haven't heard much about ego in this thread.
There's been a few pop up.
Yeah, probably not as much as what I thought there would be.
We have seen
a lot of ego handhelds.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry, mate, my smoke's axing you.
Oh, mate. Get it in me.
So, like I said, I've used an ego. I've only used one at a demo.
Yeah.
I haven't even demoed one. I've just literally like pushed one at a demo.
Okay.
Look, I think they have some models there that people can utilize.
I'm sure that there's one there for everyone. There's fucking 3 or maybe 4 models. And there's like the concert desk.
Yeah. Monster Mowing. Nice of you to chime in, Monster. 21-inch Ego, more compact than the 216 ? So I think this is what I might have been talking about before, and I got confused on the threads. JT clarifies and says, I use a 42 centimeter Ego for tight access, small backyards. It's more about the ability to carry the mower on an angle a bit lighter than a commercial mower. So Monster Mowing actually goes on to agree and say, yes, I understand. He also goes on to say, petrol all day, every day. However, battery does have its place, which is kind of strange because he is using Milwaukee gear.
I'm fucking confused with this guy, man.
Petrol all day, every day. I mean, people are going to have their thoughts, but I think the more that they experience true battery commercial gear, the more that they'll realize that petrol is it's going to become less relevant.
Yeah.
You know, remember 15, 20 years ago when we started seeing batteries in drills and, you know, like even these days, a corded grinder is going to be more powerful than a battery grinder.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the typical application, how great is it to just not have to deal with that fucking cord?
Yeah, I've only got a corded grinder for, like, that's what I bought when I first started out. That was
I have both, and when I'm in it to do like something pretty full on and serious, then I use it.
Well, I've got both as well, but yeah, it's one's a bloody, I don't know why I bought 2 different sizes. Now I have to buy 2 different size discs.
Petrol all day comment. I think still has a little bit of credibility right now, but I think in the next 24 months that's going to be
coming.
I think in the next 24 months that's going to be a pretty backwards comment, and I don't think it's going to be relative then. However, battery does have its place. A 10-year-old mower will last longer with minor maintenance repairs. I'm assuming he's so a 10-year-old battery mower. Most batteries don't live up to the cycle quota. How many replacement batteries you need to spend to keep it 10 years? I got to be honest. You can do the maths on this. I didn't think you could. But remember when we had Ego, we had Baz in for our Ego episode?
Yeah.
They did. I think they said for the specific battery we were talking about, they were talking about 5,000 cycles.
Yeah.
You can get 5,000 charges out of it. Guys, you can do that maths. And when you have a look at what a battery costs, like those Ego ones.
What is it? A tank of fuel these days?
Yeah, I just think along with all the issues that we can see with, clutches and gearboxes and air filters and, all the things that go along with it. I'd like to do some real tests.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing the maths because that's not my thing. But it's definitely interesting. I'll let someone else do the maths for me.
Apparently Monsters tried to do the maths.
Okay.
Now, I don't think he got the right answers. But,
yeah,
I also don't think...
There's so many variables as well when it comes to battery, because some days you'll go out and you'll push mow fucking 12 yards. One day you might go out and do 6, and you'll still want to walk out that next day with a fully charged battery. So you'll still charge it. So you still drop a charge for... Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But I tell you what, everyone needs to properly realise that when I bought my Ego gear, and I was messing around with Bush Ranger as well, BJ here, sitting right next to me, legitimately was like, I'm sticking with my petrol machines.
Yeah.
And that was legit. And I said, BJ, have a go at this commercial Ego snipper.
Yeah.
Just play with it. Let me know what you think. And it's your everyday rig right now, right?
Yeah, every day.
And what sort of, since you bought it, does it owe you anything?
Nothing at all.
Not...
I've noticed too that because I only have a 10 litre jerry can of 2-stroke, and I've noticed that fucking goes for miles. Now we've got the hedges and the snippers or battery
and chainsaws, right?
And chainsaws
and handheld blowers,
pole saws, the multi-tool, handheld blowers. The only thing we really use it for is sometimes we'll break out a petrol whippy on an acreage or something.
Absolutely, and look, before you go on, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
If I was going to 2 acres, now, yes, I could potentially get through, definitely it's just that I used to leave my commercial Ego with the boys.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the 10 amp with the fucking harness and shit.
Yeah.
I had a 5 amp Bush Ranger, which is getting you 35-minute flat trigger time.
Okay.
So when I would go to 2 acres, I would just use my petrol combi.
Yeah.
But all the complexes, all my zone works, all of that stuff, I was always doing the battery.
And plus it is nicer. It's nice. Way nicer to use battery stuff.
Zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
Dale.
Oh, Dale. I love that.
Our Victor toe cutter does everything a push mower need to do and more. What's a toe cutter? Is that just is that some slang?
Is that the mulch master?
Wait, is that some groovy slang that I don't know about?
Is that the mulch master? I don't know.
Sam Gunn, Honda 21-inch. Where can I sit on top of it and self-propel my lazy ass around?
Fair enough.
Just get one of them sulkies. JT, probably worth a mention, is the low barrier to entry for this part of the industry and the high returns you get on relatively cheap equipment. So, low barrier.
I feel like he means that you don't have to invest a fortune to make money with a push mower. So if you go in with a say a $900 Massport or something like that, you can still make a fortune out of that, and then it gives you that leveling up option. So you can make your money with it. It goes for as long as it needs to go, and then you can move up.
And Jared Summer chimes in, which I wish I'd saw the reply because it clarifies what you were saying. A decent 2000 mower can pay for itself in a week. Now, I do think that that's a little bit exaggerated because you're probably really only just going to break even on it.
Yeah.
In a week, if realistically, some people, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Certainly in a month, you would truly see the benefits of that. Just a common tip, as some might know, if you want your SP to last longer, manually push the mower off and engage the self-propelled with a rolling start. It will also prevent skid marks and fragile wet turf.
Good tip.
JT, that's a bloody good tip, mate.
Bloody good one.
Also goes on to mention the health benefits of self-propelled compared to sitting and standing, especially for lower back issues. Some people think walking behind a mower is hard on the body. It's not. It's called exercise. Now, I am two ways on this. For someone that has lower back issues, absolutely pushing a mower is going to keep you conditioned. Your core strength will be conditioned.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously at some point in my life, I got to a point where my core was so weakened that's why I have my back issues.
Yeah.
But I think it's one extreme to the other. Now, are people that push mowers around all day fitter? Probably yes.
Yeah. You see the pins on some of these characters that fucking push mow all day?
Yeah, I don't have good pins, eh?
Very tasty.
Just even the way you looked at me when you said it.
Yeah. Disgusting.
So, look, I think with the exception of, everything else that goes with it, when you certainly if you're lifting it in and out, that's just...
Yeah.
I remember when Russell came to work with me, because that was when I hurt my back, and he had to lift the mower out when we were still doing the road push mowing jobs. And he would just say to me, Ben, this is bullshit. Because he came from the construction industry where they're all very, very up to speed with anything that can hurt you.
Yeah.
And he used to say, like, why don't you have a fucking ramp? And I was like, well, why don't I just fucking earn no money all day, fucking pushing this fucking thing up and down a ramp, taking me 10 minutes to,
place the boards.
Anyway, look, I don't have the same view these days. I'm living proof of it. I can't go through that daily grind anymore.
Yeah.
Pushing a mower, I think, is great for your body.
Yeah.
But all in relative to, taking care of yourself at the same time.
Right.
Steve, I thought he would have been in here earlier. Steve Gornell.
Late to the party.
217 is better than a 216 for regular lawns. Over the last 2 years, I'm at 217. For his 217, he's at 360 hours, and his 216 is at 35 hours.
No.
Pelling may be next, though, if it's as good as said.
And I know that Pellic, they're fucking excellent at demos. All I've heard is like people going, I'm going to do a demo here, do a demo there.
Well, they reached out to me at one point. It's just that, unfortunately, it was in the summertime, and we were experiencing growth in Catch Pro, so we just couldn't make that work. Along with Mean Green, hopefully we get there eventually, but the rain's kind of fucking all that up.
Yeah.
Gary Ashton comes back and says, "Get the Pelink. Actually, get some robots."
Jesus.
So we know that Gary is pro robots, and he's messing around and he's doing some tests, and I think it's difficult for me to get amongst the concept because I don't see how I can ever make money off it.
No, it wouldn't work in my villages unless I had like a big open area, which they have a few open areas, but they're not.
The robot mowers that need the cable will never work in any of your villages.
Nah.
The ones that work off GPS could potentially work.
Yeah, like the pool area and the little areas like that.
But it's not, let's say the community centre at your village. Once upon a time, it used to get treated a little bit higher than every other zone.
Yeah.
And it used to get more cuts and, things like that. Not so much these days. But if you had a robot mower that could just do the community centre 24/7 and it was the focal point of the village, it would be great.
Yeah.
Do I think it's the area for it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
You got foot traffic and you got all sorts of shit that can go wrong.
Yeah.
Couldn't even run it at night because people walk around at night.
And someone would complain.
So, Steve says, I've got next year's brand new 217 ready and waiting. No new mowers for 12 months. That's bad. JT, the Pelink is great. I demoed it 18 months ago. It was just the price. 5.5 with battery charger. That put me off. I was hoping that would come down in price. They might come down in price.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think everything's going to go up. Gary
Ashton says, think of it as a $2,700 mower with a lot of fuel paid for up front. I don't mind that comment.
It makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't know how long it would take for someone to calculate $2,700 worth of like 4-stroke mower fuel. That's probably pretty hard to break down.
But then you also have to add in oil and time to service and just all the add-in shit.
Oh my gosh.
Comes with petties.
Totally, man. Not to mention, like, going to the fucking servo and filling up.
Yeah, true.
Who the fuck does that shit these days?
I do it all the time.
Adam Ratcliffe. Gary Ashton, but it's not 2,700. It's 5,500. Don't get me wrong. From what I've heard, it's a fantastic mower, but not for a lot of us. It's out of reach. And Adam, it's so true. Like, we don't all have $5,000 to just bust out on a pusher.
Yeah.
It's an investment.
Yeah, I can see someone grabbing 5.5K and throwing it into a ZTR or something like that.
What fucking ZTR are you looking at?
No, but I mean, like, throwing it into, like, you will have to throw a bit on top. Because you can move into those more lucrative, bigger properties. But.
Now, Gary does go ahead to make the point that if you're actually already running the Pelink gear, which so many people aren't, like it's just true, then it would be a different story because you already have the charger, etc. I think what's happening in that conversation realistically is Pelink, they just don't have the presence that an Ego or a Husqvarna or anyone really has. Don't know why I said Husky because no one says shit about it in this.
Yeah.
Brendan, HRX217 electric stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't messed with any of these electric stuff.
Neither have I don't know. Never had a fucking chance.
But I tell you what, I can see the fucking massive. Danny
Bork's just got one. I talk to him from time to time, so I'll ask him how he likes it.
So he just said, just purchase one of these.
What is it? Just a button?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So he also goes on to say the hydro box is really smooth, lots of power, great cut.
Cool. Cool.
Brent Aitken. Now, I got to be honest. I feel like I recognise this name. And I feel like he's given me some shit in the past.
Maybe.
About Catch Pro. But anyway, it's not about that right now. He says, bring back the Arian self-propelled mower with front swivel wheels. Can't find them anymore. They're the bomb push mowing. Now, I know about that mower.
Ooh.
And they were fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, they were really good.
Okay, cool.
But unfortunately, yes, discontinued. Tristram. Am ep on sacking. Firing people. I listened today while spraying a whole freaking village after sacking the guy that made me there in the first place. Spraying since he thought hand weeding was beneath him. Pretty sure there's a few out there.
Fuck yeah, there is.
Where did that comment come from?
I think he's just throwing some fucking...
P.S. Where the fuck are the Nola sidebars? Less open mouth pashing and more Nola sidebars.
There's only so many Nola sidebars we can have.
Good old Nola. Hey, Ben, are you a puffy? Throwing up for the bus?
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, there's no benefit in keeping a self-propelled mower past 200 hours.
Fuck me.
That is a bold statement.
Yeah, I don't feel that.
I'm not sure that I agree with that. I mean, well, let's go through it. So Scott Jones says, why is that?
Why?
Steve says, you will break a cable or need new tyres or some other breakdown. That breakdown, time, parts, unplanned trip to the mower shop will cost you more than any resale saving, if any. Better to turn them over a bit early than late. So, whilst I can agree turning your mower over is pretty good, like it is good, I don't know that turning one over after 200 hours is really that efficient.
Yeah. I don't get, especially now.
Like, I guess it depends.
What's your guarantee in fucking finding one after 200 hours? Like, what he said in his earlier comment, that 12 months and is the wait time on 217s.
I think he might have also said that he's got 350 hours on a mower.
He did actually say that.
And I think over 200 on another. So, Mark Ladaway chimes in on this conversation, says 100 on wheels and 30 on cable, 15 minutes of your time or else 2G for a new one. Can see why some contractors go broke with thinking like that. So, I mean...
I don't get the
two sides to the argument.
I can say I would love to have a new mower every 200 hours. Like, I think, rolling with new gear is always good. And you can you would definitely have confidence in your gear all the time. I can see how it would be nice.
I can understand it with guys that, have walkers or, guys that have higher end machines, because there's certain tax benefits and stuff go along with it. But I think, $2,000 push mowers, I just sort of think, I don't know.
The problem is, though, these days is if you keep a mower around for a long time, when it's time that mower says no more, you're fucking limited in what you can get.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I saw Brian Fullerton. He did a video on Snipper.
Oh, Brian, that goofy guy.
He had a video on guards or no guards, and I think he saw I think he said a comment in there. He was using an Echo snipper. I think he predominantly uses either Echo or Red Max. And he's like, we turn these things over every 3 or 4 years, and I was fucking amazed that in their market they're turning them over after 3 or 4 years, because you look at those things. They barely even got fucking grass on the shaft.
Yeah.
Like, that's nothing.
I get that.
I mean, 3 or 4 years in our market.
Yeah. Fuck.
With guys that are bipping at every single edge at every single job.
Well, to him even, because he's in the snow game, so he would get about 3 months of snow a year. So there's 3 months off for those snippers.
At least he's up there. Like, they're up in near Detroit or something.
So I guess they would have, say 4 or 5 months off. So his 4 years is basically 2 years of actual labour.
So
unless you can snip snow.
And let's face it, he ain't turning shit over, eh?
Freebies.
So PJ, 200 hours, that's like 3 or 4 months work for my HRU with an hour meter installed before you ask. Well, it's going to be horses for courses.
Yeah, fuck me. I would not want to be sourcing a mower every fucking 3 to 4 months.
Oh, hell no.
Nah, wow.
Jaden Ribchester, agree. I reckon turning over mowers is a good option. Might lose $500 on what you paid, but the amount you made in those 200 hours definitely covers it. I mean, like I said, this is all fair stuff, and it's horses for courses.
Just depends.
Someone like me isn't going to turn a mower over in 200 hours.
Neither would I. Fucking 5-year-old fucking 196 that still is an everyday user.
Yeah, I mean, don't even ask me about mine.
And you know what? Like the money that, imagine how much money I've made with that fucking 196, sorry.
So this continues on with Footscray saying hot. That's like 6 weeks work. The bushy went over 2,000 hours before doing a cable. Mulch muscle went at 1,000. I've never monitored any hours on any of my pushies. People just weren't doing it.
No.
Then I would absolutely love to do it on every piece of gear right now, just because it's like kind of, I don't know, cool to know.
Just nice to know sometimes.
PJ, now hopefully this is a new conversation. 216 for the straight and easy access work. Massport 4000 for jobs that I need to lift the mower over stuff because it's light and very nimble. Mostly catch grass as it's cleaner, usually blower leaves and other debris onto the lawn area so the catcher picks it all up. 29 years in the game now and started with a 2-stroke mowers and still use one at my house as it's the love of my life and enjoy getting high on 2-stroke fumes.
Ew.
He's one of them hippies. Yeah, I mean, look, 29 years in the game, like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And you can't help but respect that sort of comment because they've been through everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like every drought, every season, fucking the last 29 years, that's beast mode. How many you got? You got about 20, didn't you?
I got 20 as of last summer.
Okay.
And that's it for me. Actually, it might have been 9. No, it was 20. Yeah,
good.
20. So Lynn's, don't go on SP Honda. I'm pulling a 300 kilogram man backwards when I need to turn, rethinking all my life's decisions starting today. Could this be a female? Possibly.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Maybe not.
Gee, I didn't think we had another female.
No, the only reason why... Well, no, just because I'm pulling a 300 keg man. Also, I saw the profile picture and it does look to be a woman in it. That might just be Lindsay's wife.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly, but then Lindsay, there's chicks called Lindsay too.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't
very
know.
Confusing.
But
it'd be good to hear some feedback from the fairer sex, maybe down a bit. Someone's thrown in a bit of a comment. Possibly.
However, don't go an SP. Look, I think some old school people might still agree with that. If you're not doing any sort of reasonably open areas, then I don't think a self-propelled makes a lot of sense either.
I changed my mind once I got the bushy, and once I used the 216, then that changed my mind, and now it's like just a part and parcel. I do like to keep a bushy around.
I mean, look, my mate Tyson, who has like 18 workers and now runs the whole executive property maintenance franchise. He was always against self-propelled mowers.
Yeah.
And their work was mint.
Yeah.
And he always said, I can run way faster than any of those mowers. And he's a fitness dude.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? And he's very, very open, happy guy who really loves life. And, they would work in footy shorts and runners.
Delicious.
Oh, and not a hair on his body.
Oh, really?
Oh, nah.
Shaven haven.
And legit, it was like when we'd go out to work, like that was his gym session.
Yeah.
So, horses for courses once again. PJ says 21-inch Victor 550 SP mower is the fastest push mower I have come across by far. If anyone knows what I'm talking about. I'm not sure that having like a mega far, I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how fast you like to do your jobs.
Yeah.
The Skag is about 6 k's an hour. Now, I don't really know what the other ones are like, but I find it pretty good pace. I don't find it too fast, but it is a good walking pace, especially fucking...
I'd say there's quite a few that go beyond...
Really?
Go beyond a good walking pace.
They go a little bit joggy.
Imagine me fucking limping behind one these days.
Yeah, fuck that.
Just with all my hips and everything cracking.
My feet, I'm just like...
I don't know what I was going to say. JT, best to have about 2 to 4 self-propelled mowers. See, this is what... And he's saying rotate them through your week to spread the wear and tear out. See, this is where I just think that's... Like, fair enough if that... is what you think you got to do, but like that's what I mean. Like we're paying money for shit. We should not need to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't care how much work you're doing. You shouldn't need to do it.
It's fucking so much.
It's too much. It's overkill. You're paying your hard-earned money for mowers that should be. You should be able to use them full time.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing 8 lawns a day or 16, you should still be able to have one fucking push mower that should get you through 4 seasons.
Yeah, 100%.
You might only carry 2 with you, but if anything goes wrong mechanically with one, just put it aside until the weekend to rectify a drop off the shop. This gives you no lost time, peace of mind. Overall units will last longer. It's a great theory, and it's a true theory.
Yeah.
I always carried 2 mowers with me.
Well, you got 3 mowers there. Why don't you just get one Pelnic?
Well,
I mean, if they're all about $2,000, 1,700, 1,800, then there's your Pelnic paid for.
Well, yes, but I guess it's unproven.
That's true.
Unproven. And the only way we're going to know is if people start taking the chance.
Yeah.
People like Conrad and I don't think Gary's got one yet, but it sounds like he would probably get one. So Jay says you might need a part 1 and a part 2 of the episode.
Tell me about it. We might actually run this as 2 parts.
No, don't be stupid. Let's give them something for their Thursday to work with.
Give them a fucking 3-hour rock and roller.
It's funny how an hour ago I said we might be wrapping this up soon.
Yeah, fuck
because I don't know how far through the comments we still are. So Adam Ratcliffe says, I know I'm probably going to get crucified by the diehard petrol guys, but I've been using Ego mowers for 100% of my regular mows for just over 12 months. I have 2 of the 52 centimeter select cut mowers, one with mulching blades and one with high lifts. At 25 kegs plus battery, they are light enough to carry for poor access properties, to maneuver in tight areas, and to push easily if you don't want to use the self-propelled. Easy to flip over and clean out if they clog up, and much better on the body, not having to pull start. I have the 50 centimeter steel deck, but think the select cuts are a much better mower. I also have the Mulchmaster 560, Victor 19-inch commercial SP Massport 530 utility, all with the Briggs 190cc motor, which is a beast for mowing overgrown lawns, and the Bush Ranger with the Honda motor, which never gets used as it's way too heavy and underpowered. A lot to unpack in that one fucking comment.
So, look, no one should crucify your ads because it's your fucking business, and it looks like what you've got is working for you. But man, that select cut is really intriguing me.
Can I also just say to Adam, and certainly he should not be crucified, and we'll find out later in the comments, but he's saying he's been using these Egos for 100% over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And look at all the other fucking mowers he has.
Yeah, I know.
So this comment has a lot of credibility.
100%.
And look, everyone knows that we do some work with Ego.
Yeah.
You and I have both bought Ego gear, so we can actually vouch for it.
And I definitely intend on buying more. I love it. I do love it. I love the brand. I like the fact that fucking Baz is on call 24/7.
Don't say that here.
Nah, but I love the fact that Ads is a great fucking advocate for Ego. He's got the stuff. He's used it for a lot longer than I have, and it's good to be able to refer to him and fucking have a look at what he's doing.
So I think
I really want one of those 52 select cuts, even if it just is mine. And
what that the boys
don't get that. That's mine.
JT says, nail this man to a cross. Hear the way I've read it?
Fucking.
I see some little laughing emojis.
Yeah, it's a laughy one.
So, but no, consider he's got the fucking Bush Ranger, he's got the Mulchmaster, he's got a bit of everything. He's got a Massport, he's got everything.
Yeah, well, I guess, with the Bush Ranger, I didn't have to turn the power up, but
to be honest, we didn't either because we're not doing jungles.
Yeah.
But we did have it recommended to us. And I think, and Rusty, he loves rustifying stuff. And he was like, no, I just don't need to. Kazama?
Don't do.
Ego a weird, awkward heavy. The 19 isn't awkward for you. I feel like it couldn't be as awkward as this actual comment.
No, I kind of guess he's obviously used one, he finds it weird and awkward, and he's asking the question, isn't it awkward for you? Obviously not, because he's used the fucking thing for 12 months and all of his other mowers seem to be sidelined. So
But wasn't the actual weight of the machine down compared to the others?
Yeah, hugely down.
So ego, weird, awkward, heavy. Yeah, I don't know. Lenny Lawler, cannot forget the Sandley.
Fuck, we didn't even buy one of those.
And I might mention that Nanki actually had the same comment as well. I did skip by it. Turtle, in my 15 years plus horticulture game, I've never used or rated a self-propelled mower. I started my business same as me, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a lie. I've had self-propellers before when I first started. But anyway, Honda, so he started his business with a Honda 195 OMG twinning. That was the fucking era.
Yeah.
You know? I'd say if he started 15 years plus, but if he started around 15 years with a 195, they must have got discontinued not long after that, because they weren't around that long after I got
I started with the 196s, and that was a second handy, so that was old.
Yeah, but they still didn't the 196 last forever.
Yeah.
So then got the Honda 196 because the mower went back to how the old Hondas used to be made, and I took off the blade brake as well. See, Turtles, he's fucking old school, man. Been using it ever since. Catch my clients' backyards that have asked to be catched. Has been my main mower to mulch my clients' lawns, and has become my second mower behind my Skag V-Ride 2. Anyway, each to their own. Whatever mower you have, use. Who cares? As long as it's making you money.
That's what I'm saying.
Turtle, he is for the people.
He is for the people.
Like, you think...
Lovely bloke.
And you think, like, he's just put it straight out there. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Like,
whatever fucking mower you use, as long as it's making you money, it's a good choice.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that he's a mulch dude.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
He has a catch pro.
Yeah, well, maybe he does a bit of both. You know, you can do both.
Well, you sort of can, but I just think a lot of people that mulch mowing would tend to probably do that on standards as well.
Yeah. You know what? With this thread too, we might be here for a fucking long time, Ben, because it's getting to about knock-off time for all the contractors around Australia, and they're probably taking their fucking afternoon shit and looking.
No, I'm having a look. Well, these comments are still from 8 hours.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So these ones are.
Look, we're gonna get topped up. We're gonna be here for fucking hours. I didn't delete that many photos.
Potentially, these are from this morning. So I will. You know, we can only do what we can do.
That's it.
Paul Luck. It's funny because when I started my business, it took me 15 minutes to realise I wanted a self-propelled. Why would anyone want to push a mower all day when you can get one that does the work for you? Simon does go back to say, as I said, each to their own. Now, you know, I guess we won't spend a ton of time on this because we're running out again. But mate, I never felt the need for it either.
Yeah.
I never felt the need. I had some sort of wide open spots, but what I felt, I just want to quickly spend a minute on this.
Yeah.
What I felt was I didn't feel connected to a self-propelled mower.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, so I wear ear protection or listen to music for every machine that I run, usually except for a push mower.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel that I'm connected with the machine. You know, when you choose your levels, you know, you get really into, this one's a 3, this one's a 4, this one's a fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I always felt like listening to the machine, I could tell when it was cutting, when I was cutting on the correct level.
Yeah.
And I always felt with a self-propelled that it was taking that connection away from me.
I feel you.
That's some fucking passion right there.
That's some passion. I feel you too. Like between my... like when I do my own lawn, I will use...
Wait, when I do my own lawn, I take way more care than others.
No, because I use the 32 up the front, and I use the pushy down the back. So I think I've had enough
right
hours.
out the front, the back and pushy at the back.
And an ego bipper too.
Fucking
good old
Burke.
Yeah, fucking hell. Wasn't he a fucking rapist?
I don't know. They
Stuck his finger in someone. I don't know.
Really?
I think he was not well liked by the end.
Fuck, it's not Bill Cosby, mate. He did it too, eh?
Yeah. No, he was bad, man.
I still like him.
Oh, fuck.
Philip says, Rover Pro Cart 50 push. They were my go-to mowers for the last 25 years. Sadly, Rover no longer produce commercial mowers since MTD took over.
Oh, MTD.
Great in wet, long grass. Now, I got to be honest, I didn't really know that is why it's discontinued.
I didn't know that either.
So, MTD, go and get fucked.
You made a mistake.
I should have put 2 and 2 together.
Well, that might be.
Fucking Scotty Jones, eh?
He's back.
They're the best. Been using them for 6 years. He's the reason this episode is going so long, because he's just cut and pasting his fucking...
These Pro Cart lovers are fucking everywhere. They're coming out of the woodwork.
Paul Luck. It's funny, the cult following of the Honda 216 when the HRX 217 is the better mower, lighter, better cut, mulching better gearboxes, and cost less. Yeah, I mean... I think that there's just so many 216s that people aren't necessarily ready to turn over their models for something that they can't actually get yet.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. From what I can see from this thread, the HRX 217 is like, if you can get one, you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, what did fucking Steve say? 12 months.
Yeah. So,
fucking Danny, heaps less at $150. Fucking bargain, Anna.
Craig Austin, Bush Ranger with the Lonson, with the upped revs. That's his input.
He's upped the revs on the Lonson.
Yeah.
Beast mode.
Jared, Bywaters, I use 2 self-propelled mowers, Husky dedicated mulcher, Honda 216 for catching, as they don't mulch well compared to the Husky. I've heard that little Husky is a fantastic mulch mower.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking...
It's got like a fucking weird metro handle too.
Yeah, it's like, a weird handle.
Like, I'm a new age man and I wear a scarf.
Maybe they have...
How do you feel about scarves, everyone?
I think I could rock one with a beret.
Fuck
and a pipe.
And a vape.
And a monocle. Just fuck me up, eh?
With skinny jeans, eh?
Oh, could you imagine?
I wear skinny jeans.
Do ya?
Yeah, come fuck with me.
There's no fucking skinny jeans that fit my fucking big, juicy fucking...
Has anyone seen the size of BJ's legs? Holy fuck, I'm looking down at it now. It's the size of my body.
It honestly, I'm sorry, but it's both your legs together.
Yeah.
Just my calf.
Didn't someone once in rugby league, didn't they run into one of your leg and cleanly snap their forearm?
No, they kicked me in the head and they snapped their leg, their tibia and their fibia. I had a little blood nose. It wasn't until it was about...
Mind you,
maybe
this
5 or 6 years down the track.
Yeah.
And Lou and I, we first got together, we weren't married or anything yet. We went into a fruit shop, buy some fucking zucchinis or bananas or something.
What were you going to do with them?
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking eat them.
But you're going to put that in my mud, bro?
Oh, shit. But we fucking walked in and we got to the can and she's like, oh, I know you. I'm like, oh, shit, what's going on here? And she's like, oh, you broke my boyfriend's leg. And I was like, what? She's like, remember Doug? I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, sorry. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, no, he was a fucking dickhead. So
I thought you were going to say that 5 years later you walked around and he's still carrying his gimp leg around.
he had to go to rehab for like 9 months to fucking...
Mind you, everybody, when we were in high school, BJ looked like a proper man.
Yeah.
He hasn't changed that much.
It was crazy.
Wahid Akram says, self-propelled all the way. I run the Toro Time Master 30 inches, my main mower, and cannot rate it highly enough. The personal pace system on Toro is an absolute winner. Push mowers do have their place in the game due to their lighter weight, especially where access is tight. However, battery self-propelled mowers, I believe, are rapidly becoming a better option in those situations, but they're not there yet. I carry an Ego 52 Select Cut as my secondary mower. It's a good all-rounder. However, there are a number of things that could be better. To keep it related to the post, I'll leave it all the sidebars to you and BJ. Ha ha. The biggest thing that needs improving in their self-propelled system I don't know where that was going. The lag when you press the drive button gets properly annoying at times. Also, there's been many times when I press the drive button and the bastard doesn't want to move at all. In saying that, I still think it's a great machine to carry for those with tight access yards. So there's a fair bit to unpack there. I'd love to go further into it, but just because we are going so long, we probably won't. But a fair bit of credibility in the issues.
Yeah.
That is, like if it's not working properly, I don't think that's great.
No.
One thing that I am learning though is people are carrying more than one mower for different applications, which is not anything that I ever did.
No.
Greg Simpson says 216 for the last 20 years. We've tried the rest, Massport, Rover, Bush Ranger, they failed one way or another. 216 does have some issues, but best all-rounder on the market. Great podcast, by the way. Over and out. Cheers, Greg.
Fucking poor luck again.
This is only from 4 hours ago.
Oh, now we know.
At the moment, I think the best regular push mowing setup is the Toro Time Master as the main mower and lightweight battery mower for those tight yards. Probably the Ego Select Cut if you just wanted one mower. The Pelink would be the best go, although not as efficient as the Time Master and somewhat more costly. So not as efficient. I'm guessing maybe that could be in like speed.
No, because one's 30 inches and one's fucking...
okay.
What's the Pelnik? Is that 20...
Not sure. Now, that's actually our last comment, believe it or not.
Holy
I do have
shit.
more notifications, but I ain't fucking pressing them. Look, that was a great conversation.
Holy fuck, that was a long episode.
And we love our LMCA podcasts. It's a way for us to be interactive with our core audience.
Like Ben and his push mowers, we feel connected.
Yep. Well, not as much these days.
Yeah.
Because I just, sometimes I'm just like, fuck it, grab the rider.
Or should we cancel out now and fucking we can connect together?
Should we go to sleep now because it's fucking bedtime?
I know, what the fuck. I got here early because it's a rain day and I was like, I'll see you a little bit later, love. I'm sorry, Louise.
My fucking missus is upstairs with like trying to keep the kids quiet because it's holidays. And when I get up there, she's going to be like, I'll fucking throw you in the huggy, bro.
Oh shit, we're in so much trouble. And it's all for you guys.
All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us on this episode. We might have to do a round 2 on this one, right?
Fuck, maybe.
So definitely reach out to us, on the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
We could probably keep this rolling for a little bit. Let us know if there's any other interactive topics that we can include LMCA in, because we're shooting twice a week.
Yeah.
So we can always do that. Like I said, I've always had a lot of fun.
Definitely. If there's big ones, we might split them into 2 episodes.
Come on, you're all about the split.
Mate, I'm fucking 100% about this split. We're going to sit
here
for
how
fucking
long.
3 hours.
I think we've gone here for 3 hours. Maybe if you want to tell us whether you enjoy the 3-hour ep or not.
Yeah.
Might get you through the bulkiness of a work day.
Yeah, it was very unintentional.
So, until then, I am at Catch Pro. He is at TBL. We are out of time. We'll see you on Sunday.
Peace.